Hey guys, choose to collect or just choose to collect. You know, do what you want. Choose to collect!
Hey guys, choose to collect.
What's up guys? This Collector Joey here. Make sure you choose to collect.
I choose to collect, and you should too.
Hey guys, choose to collect.
Whoo, baby. We are live. Bugle 6 is back for issue number 31. It has been a few weeks and a couple weeks before that, and just trying to get back onto the schedule here. So we are going to be live next week as well. So back-to-back weeks to get back on that first and third week of the month. We are on Saturdays now. We've been on Saturdays for the last two episodes. So, yeah, we're just going to get used to Saturdays instead of Mondays. Bugle 6 at 6 Central Time, that is. So it kind of makes sense for me. And, yeah, just really looking forward to it. We got a very, very, very special guest today. My boy, DLo the Collector, in the house. So we are definitely going to light things up tonight for the next couple of hours with you guys in the chat. So really looking forward to it. We also have House of Collectibles, of course, with me today. So, get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a good time. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of Star Wars. We got some Marvel. I don't think we got much DC to talk about. Go figure. And, yeah, we just, I mean, it has been a wild couple weeks. Flavio, how's it been, man?
Bro, it's been great, man. You know, opening day for baseball.
That's right.
Days ago, you know what I mean? It's feeling good. Weather's starting to come back.
It sucks.
Yeah. But it's been a good time, you know. Weather's warming up, you know.
Yeah.
So much news in the community. So very, very excited. We got a lot to talk about, man.
Yeah, man.
What a better time to hang out with our boy DLo.
Speaking of DLo, look at that. Look a little bashful there. Reminded me of when I saw Snow White yesterday. Bad decision. Go ahead, DLo.
Cool.
How's it been, man?
I'm doing good, man. Listen, I just like it's tough to hang out with your buddies. You know how it is. You get older, your buddies start having kids. In this case, they have multiple kids. So you got to make the time for your friends when you can. So like I can't hang out this past Wednesday. I was like, hey man, what are you doing? He was like, oh, nothing, just doing a little Bugle 6 action. I was like, you got room for one more? And I was
like, I love to talk Spider-Man.
yeah, I love Spider-Man. He's the greatest.
Oh man, no, I'm very happy to have you. When you reached out today, definitely wanted you on. So that's awesome. To have a very, very fun guest, good friend of the channel, a good friend personally too. And thank you for being here, DLo. We do have a lot to talk about, but before we do, I do want to get in with the chat a little bit here. But I also just kind of want to talk about like it's been great, you know, like we've been getting some good TV in Invincible. We've been getting good TV with Daredevil, Born Again. You know, Thunderbolt's newest trailer is looking really good. And I think that's good just for, you know, for our viewing, you know, we want good TV, but also for the collections behind us, because we're going to have some kick-ass figures here come soon. I would hope. Right. So really looking forward to seeing what comes there. I just finished Invincible season 2. So I'm finally caught up. Well, not caught up, but like, you know, to season 3, which just ended a couple weeks ago or whatever. So finally going to be able to see what that's all about. But I've been addicted, like just with the show, but like with the comic books too. So I've been getting the, you know, the graphic novels, and I can never say the word compendium. I think I said that right. Volume 1. It's like that thick, you know, it's kind of like an omnibus, but it's from Image. So I've been reading that, and you know, it's like the first show that has like bad language and violence that when my kids walk in, I'm like, screw it, I'm keeping this on, like, because I'm having too good of a time. This is fake, kids. This is fake. But you know,
real world, son.
Yeah, welcome to the real world.
Grab daddy a beer from the fridge.
Yeah, hurry up, open it up, pour it. But no, let's check in with the chat real quick. We got Fig Poser here saying, family, what is up, man? Having a good time talking to you lately as well. We got a lot to discuss. Yes, we do. DLo saying hi to the chat. We got Movie Cannon in the house as well, and a Brickyard member saying Bugle 6 has returned, and returned we have. Mike Literis, I'm officially a bad friend. You know what? I'm going to give you some time. It's okay. I understand. Life happens. No, you're good, man. Phil to Burn, always here. Hey, happy Saturday. What is up, Phil to Burn? Good to see you here. Might have you on next week, right? Universal Key in the house as well, saying evening, everyone. We got Lou Sazo. Good evening, everyone. Good to see you here, man. That's a good thing about like switching up the days a little bit. You get new people on during the live stream, so that's nice to see you here. We got Valkyrie Magnus. For a second, I thought that was Eminem in the picture, and then I clicked on it. Nope, it's a bald guy. Have a great stream, guys. Brick, Artemis, Flavio, and DLo. And then also saying hello to everyone. Flavio in the chat saying hi, warming everybody up. And Phil to Burn, yes, April 5th, my friend. So we got 17 in the house to start off. Pretty awesome. Make sure to hit that like button. That goes a long way and kind of spreads the show around a little bit, so people can kind of see that it's there in the algorithm here. You know how YouTube works and all that. But guys, real quick before we go into our first figure, you guys having a good time with Daredevil too, or is it just me? Like it's like the best stuff I've seen on Disney ever.
Facts. Like it has everything that you want, you know, from a show. Like it's great, man. I don't want to glaze the dude, but like I'm low key like I'm a low key like overnight like turning into like a Daredevil fanboy, bro. Like he's a great character, man, and he's slept on, I feel like, and the show just, you know, showcases that. Yeah,
he's one of those one of those characters. I'm so used to saying figures. One of those characters that's really slept on until he's got a show out. Right. You know what I mean? But like when he has nothing going on, nobody really talks about him much, except for maybe the comic book world.
Yeah.
I've always loved Daredevil, but I'm the same way. I don't really talk about him as much until like I'm really feeling, the fire that's happening right now. So DLo, what do you think about the show so far?
Oh, love it. Can't get enough. I was a big fan of the Netflix original. So I mean, that was awesome. But honestly, I'll go back on you, dude. I'll go back to Ben Affleck Daredevil. That's where it's like, it kind of like for me, like you guys already know, I'm a Batman guy, right? And part of the appeal of Batman is that he doesn't have superhero powers, right? Like he's not your typical superhero. And I always enjoy that grounded side. Like, I mean, Punisher, I was always a fan of, even as a kid, comics wise and all. But Daredevil was something that I picked up on later. I just like that type of character. Just like, I don't have powers, but I have unique skills. I've trained, I've busted my ass to get good at, what I can do. And, he's not fighting like General Zod, or he's not fighting Magneto or something.
Yeah.
He's handling street level. And I respect that. I like that. Because in a way, you can always feel like, if I was blind, and I had a membership, I could maybe be Daredevil, and I like that kind of part of it. It's kind of cool.
Did you say if I was blind, had a gym membership?
Yeah. Well, he's got something going on. I don't know how he does it. Has that ever been covered in an episode? Like, cause the man, okay, I get it. I'm blind, but everything else is sensitive. But how do you do half the shit you do, man? It's pretty cool. I don't know, man.
It's the black card from Planet Fitness.
It's the Pilates class he takes after his case done. I don't know, man. But yeah, it's cool, man. Like, I mean, like I said, I like those types of superheroes are more relatable to me. So yeah, I've always been a big fan of his here, just because it just kind of goes into that Batman archetype that I like.
Yeah,
that's a great for point too. Like that he doesn't like have no power that really stands out. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's what gravitates you as a viewer, because you're just like, dang, this guy has just so much, willingness to just go the extra mile over another normal dude. You know what I mean? Like the man with no fear. Let's just put it that way.
That's why they call him that. Exactly.
Yep. Absolutely. Love everything you guys said. I was very happy to see that it's not 8 episodes. It is 9 episodes. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm excited about, the fact that they're already filming season 2. So, yeah. But, all right, let's jump in. I'm going to start with this one, actually. Real quick. I do want to just thank everyone who has joined the Brickyard. We have 16 Brickyard members right now. We've got the Movie Cannon, Nick Lift Sticks, How You Figure, Brian Wong, 1 Adam 12, Valkyrie Magnus, X-Man Supreme, Collection Obsession, Mike Litteris, Jose G. Hernandez, Collector Joey, 12-inch Moose Stream, Matthew, the Jedi Knights Watch, and Park Industries. I just want to thank you guys for sticking around for so long. Part of being a Brickyard member. We do get some perks here. We get videos early. We have some polls that we do early. You guys get cool emojis. And of course, when we do giveaways once a month, all the money that I get from the Brickyard goes to a giveaway to a Brickyard member. So thank you guys. All right, let's go ahead and start with, I want to talk about this Vader. That's what I want to talk about. So DLo, I'm going to let you kick us off. I'm going to start with my first question is, I'm just going to get straight to the point here. What do you think of the colors? What do you think of that shading or the dueling effect?
I think it's dope, man. I didn't know that Hot Toys and Mondo were going to do a collaboration like this. So, it's pretty cool. You got to give them credit for doing something unique like that.
Heck yeah.
I'm just messing there. But
those kind of look like that Venom, right?
Right. That's what the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, they're doing color shading. Oh, okay, so this is Hot Toys X Mondo thing going. Cool. But honestly, when I first saw the photos, I didn't know what this was. Did anybody else have that kind of reaction? Because I'm looking through the photos. I'm like, what's different? What's going on with this Vader? And then I realized I read the title, it says dueling effect version. I'm like, oh, the lighting. Like, really? Yeah. We're gonna do a lighting one? I think it's a cool concept. I don't know who this is for. It's certainly not for me because I don't know. I mean, how I don't know how to display this other than putting it by itself. And then you're asking me to put this on a shelf somewhere and take up space when I have 4 other Vaders already in my collection. So, I mean, the photos look great. It's definitely giving this, sell it, buy it kind of vibe to it there because they're doing some really great shots that I really appreciate. But I don't know who this is for exactly. I mean, it doesn't have that like Rebels kind of look to it, like the kind of Hano tees that we were talking about, what we had before, right? So it's not that. So it's kind of like that in between, like color shading / animated vibe, but like I don't know. I don't really know what to make of this one, to be honest with you. Honestly, I've never been more confused about a figure than this one right here. I'm being honest. I just don't know what to put this category in wise.
Yeah, no, it's like one thing when you have a, crazy colored Iron Man or a crazy colored Spider-Man even. But when you see it on Vader, it's cool, but it's just like when I think Vader, I want the Vader from the movie. Iron Man, you can collect all the different Iron Mans. I don't know. For some reason, that's not all of them, but a lot of them make sense, like changing up the colors a little bit. But Vader, I'm with you, DLo. Like, who is this for? Is this for just the collector that wants, a variety of Vaders and something unique, something different? Sure. But is it for like anybody that I know and that I talk to? I haven't heard anybody say I'm buying this, but it does look cool. It is limited, right, Flavio?
Yeah, I think it is. It's like 1,000 or something to
This is
Japan.
the second Japan exclusive, right, Flavio? I think.
Yeah, I think it's limited to 1,000 with the box slip cover for Japan only, and then I think it's 2,000 for other sites. I believe.
Dang, so we're gonna get more of this Vader than Kalen Urso? Really?
Oh man,
rub it in, man. Rub it in.
I am getting a little Wi-Fi thing on my computer, so if I am lagging a little bit, guys, bear with me. It should be coming back. But yeah, this is I don't know. There's always a part of me though that wants something unique like this, and it gives me that urge to go for it. But yeah, I mean it's a pass for me. Is it a pass for you guys?
Oh yeah.
Like what? I guess Movie Can is saying it's 2,000. So
yeah, yep, 2,000.
2,000. Okay. Big Rip saying oversized Black Series.
There you go. That's a good way to put it. For sure.
That's a good way. Yep. What's up, Big Rib? Okay. But yeah, I mean it's cool. Is that material going to be the same material as we see with other Vaders, or is it going to be a different plastic? Do you guys know?
What was the question? Sorry.
Like the helmet. Is that helmet going to be more of like a Mondo plastic, or is it going to be? Okay.
It looks matte. It doesn't have the like sheen to like the helmet like the other Vaders does.
Sure.
From what I can see, what it looks like.
For sure.
But I mean, it might have like a little bit, but it looks more matte than anything.
What about?
I do like the helmet.
Is it
Part of me
pleather
just
again?
wants to buy the helmet.
Is it still pleather?
I keep hearing people say that it's nylon. So
I heard nylon.
That's what I heard too. Okay.
And my question is there a specific episode armor that this is? Or is this like a mix?
Based on the gloves, it's Empire or Return of the Jedi. Right? Yeah, it's one or the other.
But then, I thought the COD piece looked different because that's what I was looking at the ESP.
I saw something that's like a comic book version, but I don't know. I don't know from what comic. I don't know.
They said the artist is Park Zinn, whoever that guy is. So I was trying to find other like actual comic art of it, and I could not find anything. Yeah,
I couldn't either. But I mean, it looks cool. If somebody gets it, I'm gonna enjoy looking at it. But I am passing. Let's see. Real quick, let's check in with the chat here. We have Fig Poser saying, "Rest in peace to the legend Michael Clark Duncan." Yeah, when we were talking about Daredevil there, man, I used to like him a lot in a lot of the movies growing up in the 90s, early 2000s. You guys ever see Green Mile?
I'm tired, boss.
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to see Green Mile. So great good. Movie. It's one of the best. Let's see here. We got Jose Plus in the house. What is up, fellas? What's up, Jose? Good to have you here in the chat. Got to get you back on the show sometime as well. Let's see here. Lou saying it just looks like someone dumped paint on him. Yeah, it kind of looks like, you ever see those short videos where like somebody puts a shoe or something into a pool of paint?
Yeah,
and then they take it out.
The hydro or something.
Yeah. I feel like Hot Toys had fun doing it with a Vader here, for sure. The shading doesn't look great.
This feels very Venom inspired from Mondo though. Like that's the first thing that I thought of. Like once I kind of figured out that it was actually paint on the armor itself, I was like, this is a Mondo style Darth Vader right here.
It really is. It really is. I want to get into that Mondo vibe there. So
that Mondo cash.
I thought that too. Like when I woke up, I always, when there's a release, when I wake up and I see it, I couldn't really tell. I thought the lighting and the images is what was casting the color on the
same.
armor.
I thought it was just like a 2.0 of another Vader or something, and the light was hitting it weird.
Right, and I had to just keep looking, and I was like, oh, I see it now. But like, it's even on the suit and everything too. So like, that's one thing that like I kind of curious to see how that's gonna like look actually in hand too, because it almost seems like it's like a heat transferred like almost like decal that goes on, that's baked into the suit, you know what I mean, like almost like a Spider-Man like
right
material.
You know, it's funny that like so when I didn't understand what I was looking at, I was immediately upset because I thought, did they make another Vader? And is it like, did they fix something that my new one doesn't have, or like what did they, you know? Because now it's like I have such a emotional disconnection from like how these announcements are, because every time I feel like I see something, they're 2.0 and something that's been 2.0 already.
Right.
So I'm thinking to myself, I just bought Obi-Wan Vader. I've got, you know, Return of the Jedi Vader. Like, what other Vader could you possibly need to make right now?
The battle damage one coming. You got the
And that's my thing. It's like I don't know where this would go. Like me, you know, clicking the button on this, just it is gonna be an instant, like, I feel like a regret, because it's like, okay, it's a great looking figure, but it's not gonna work for me long term. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing that I was trying to, you know, weigh out the options, like it being a limited exclusive thing. I think is perfect. The thought of it is perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's one of the biggest things, you know, about this conversation, about this figure, you know, within the community, is kind of like getting looked over. Like, this is perfect when you're thinking about Star Wars Celebration. This is a piece that, you know, embodies, you know, celebrates everything that has to do with the world of Star Wars, you know? There's nothing wrong with this figure. It's amazing. But the problem is, for most collectors, you know, where would it stand and not look cheap or weird, because everything else is almost like high fidelity, realistic. You know what I mean?
Well,
this is
the problem
more like
with limited though is just like, just because something's limited doesn't guarantee people still want it though. You know, like
right.
Like that's the, like, you can put a number on it, but like if you don't have 2,000 people that care about this here, you know, and this doesn't sell out, and then eventually they get it in hand, and then they say, you know what, it's not for me, and sell it. Doesn't matter how limited it is, just means it's a figure that doesn't connect with collectors.
Right.
You know, but
I mean,
but I will say this though, like if they went the Hano route and did like an animated style Vader and did a color scheme like this, I think this would be a better fit. I really do, because it only looks like it just has a paint job, and it's a regular Vader that everybody already has. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. I would rather, like, if you're going to do something like this, which I don't think is a bad idea, I think the execution might be wrong in its thinking. But if you did an animated style with an animated paint job like this, I think that would resonate a lot more, especially if it was a limited 2,000, because now you have a unique Vader that no one has, with a unique style to it that's inspired by what you're trying to get across. Because to me, all I see is a Vader with a couple speckles of red and blue. But if you did that Rebel style, right, and gave it a paint job like that, well, now you got something that would really pique people's interest, because no one has that kind of Vader other than those people there. That's a hell of a piece. But this is just like, it's a money grab.
Yeah, like it kind of makes me think, like, are they ever going to do an all white Vader, or like a
Right.
platinum Vader, gold Vader, you know, I guess, unlimited.
I would say yes. You know what I mean? Just by seeing this already, you know, they're willing to, you know, alter the, you know, the lines of like just how the figure is. They're giving it us to in different flavors. You know what I mean? Just kind of like the sneaker hobby. So, the coolest thing about this though, like every time I see this, the first thing that I think of is the Disney Plus like opener for shows, like when it's going around the helmets and stuff like that.
Right.
That's literally what this is.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
And I think this is like, you know, that makes it cool for me because every time I see it, I think of that. Like, you know,
now if they showed a picture of that, you know what I mean, or like similar to that, and then they sold it that way, that I think they could probably get a couple more sales that way. But
right,
because that's a good point. But we have a lot of figures to talk about here, and I would love to go ahead and talk about the big one here. Let's talk about the big one, and that is Spider. No, I'm kidding. That is Mr. Artisan Anakin Skywalker here. We got the blogger photos. You know, and personally, I'm seeing a lot of praise, but I'm also seeing a lot of negativity on the figure. So it's kind of a mixed bag for me personally. Not like I'm not like a mixed bag myself, but it's just kind of what I'm seeing overall. Flavio, I'll go first with you this time. Do you have this on pre-order first? I guess my first question.
Yep, he's locked and loaded. I'm just waiting for them to ship.
Man, so freaking lucky. But yeah, I mean,
I don't know about that now. Like, we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So, I guess, what do you think of the blogger photos?
Look, man. I mean, first off, thank God that he's out at least, because this was like the second Artisan, right? Because it was Joker first, then him, or was it flop? So this is the second one, and we've had other Artisans that have come out before him. So, you know, they did what they had to do, but is it a win or is it a loss? And that's the biggest question for everybody.
Sure.
I think the blogger photos look good, but just off of like the past couple releases, I kind of don't want to, you know, for sure go off of them, because I feel like a lot of them have been a lot better when I get them in hand. So that's the biggest thing that I can say. I'm going to make my final judgment when I get it in hand. But from what I've seen, it's just very, very skewed, man. Like, it looks good in certain angles, certain lightings, but then in other ones, it doesn't. Overall, I think it definitely dropped off, you know, from the proto.
Sure.
But that's expected. So that's the hardest part for me with this one, because that's noted. We know that it's not going to be 100% like the prototype, but a lot of the photos that you see that people are mashing them up from proto to this, the prototype was in a whole different direction. Like, it was going so good. Like, it looked good. The one that we seen on display at that one convention, I don't know what happened there. That didn't look good, but that was the original hair, because that even looked lighter than this. And that's another thing that people are saying, that it's dark.
Yeah, it's dark.
You know, it's too voluminous. Like, it has too much. And I just don't know, man. Like, it looks good, but it doesn't look the greatest. And for that price that we're paying, and for that exclusivity, and, you know, being, you know, able to just say that, you know, whatever, you got a limited piece or whatever, and there's not that many, there's a lot of factors that go into that for you to be getting a product that looks completely, you know, off for certain things. So my biggest thing is that they have a lot of, you know, work to do with the Artisan line as a whole, and we know that, I think.
Sure.
Because this isn't, I mean, I guess it is like any other figure, but it's not at the same time. They're doing rooting and stuff like that, so it's a little bit extra care when it comes to it. But it's going to take them a couple years to fully nail it to where every time we're like, dang, the hair is like, you know, no question, just like everything else, you know, like that sets Hot Toys aside from everything else. So that's just one thing that I'm trying to keep in mind. But it is kind of a little jarring and a little stressful that, you know, there's a possibility that you're gonna have to for sure go the extra mile on rooted figures if you want it to look perfect, because everybody's eye is gonna see things differently. So what you picture, you know, the hair looked like in this certain scene or shot of a movie or TV show or whatever for whatever character, you're gonna see that differently from somebody else. So I think they did good with the hair, but it may need a little work when we get this in hand. But it looks cool. It looks cool, man.
That's what scares me, because I mean, I guess I haven't really tried, but I don't think I will be good at fixing up hair. I'm sure I will definitely be FaceTiming DLo
facts
every 3 seconds. Okay, so how do you do this again? How do you do this again?
He said D&D.
But yeah, I'm a little worried about some of these you know, artisan figures because of their hair. DLo, my friend, what was it like a make or break for you seeing these blogger photos, or are you just like, no, I'm still getting it?
No, I'm still getting it. I'm still getting it because, you know, the way I look at rooted figures is differently than everybody else is here, because I've gone through the process of getting figures rooted myself personally, commissioned. And like, I knew what rooted would be, you know, getting myself into, whether it was in art or it was gonna be Hot Toys or any other company, because it's kind of like what Flavio said, it's a personal touch when it comes to rooted, because it's going to come styled as per how the artist wants to style it based off of their interpretation. When you get it in your hands, that may not fit what you consider would be the right way to have that figure displayed. When it's sculpted, it's take it or leave it, right? This is how it's going to come. But when you're paying a little extra more, like you're doing Artisan or you're doing rooted with in art, you have a little bit more say in that, because now if you want to, you can take it upon yourself to change it to how you see fit. Now, for the hair itself here, I will admit, out of the box, because this is clearly out of the box, no one actually took the time to style it the way Anakin Skywalker looked in the movie. So, but out of the box, this is what you're going to get. Now, is that accurate? No, it's not. But if you're willing to put in the work, there's a lot of potential with this figure, with this head sculpt, with this hair. Now, inaccuracies aside, because yes, I agree the hair is too dark. The head sculpt is definitely not as sharp as the proto was, right?
Right.
But I've already seen some people online take it upon themselves to fuss with it a little bit, and dramatically looks better. Like dramatically already looks better. It's not a lot of footage out there. I can't remember who else. I think it was somebody on IG by the name of Access, if I'm not mistaken. But he's already done it before himself, and it looks so much better than what it did out of the box. And I think with a little bit more time, I think a lot of collectors, if they put in the work, you can get this to look really damn good on your shelf, like really, really good. But that being said, I don't think 99.9% of collectors care to do that. I don't think that's something that collectors are going to hear me say and say, yeah, you know what, DLo, you're right. I'll go get some tweezers and some water and a toothbrush or whatever and start combing my doll hair. I don't think people want that, but I think that's what you have to understand you're going to get yourself into with a rooted figure, regardless of who does there. Now, some people will say, like, you know, InArt does really good work out of the box, and to each their own. That's your opinion on that there, right? And Hot Toys may not be that same experience, but, you know, I will say with my own experience with the Joker, I didn't like it the way it came in the box. I thought, like, this does nothing look like the Joker. I mean, the Joker had way more hair than everybody knows Heath Ledger had. He was balding. Everybody knows that. So I played with mine for a while. I was careful. I took a lot of precaution because I've never had a Hot Toys rooted hair. So I had no idea I wasn't going to be too rough on it. But I took I took my time, little by little. It started getting better and better and better and better. And eventually it got to the part where I feel it's acceptable, right? I don't think it's 100% accurate, but now when I see it in my display, I'm a lot happier for it than when I first got it. And that's what a lot of people are going to have to do if you're going to get into this artisan stuff. It's going to be, unfortunately, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to give you mostly all the things ready for you to go, but it's going to take you to take it to that next level. And that's something people now have to understand, that's going to come with the territory if you're going to buy an artisan figure.
Yeah.
So, which is Grant, for example, he swears by sculpted, and I'm honestly, believe it or not, I'm actually a sculpted guy as well too. I just happen to dabble in this stuff. But if you want it that next level, you got to take it to the next level. That's what artisan's going to be for you guys.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you guys both, if this continues to happen with the artisan line, what we saw with Joker. Now, I don't want to get too into that, but you guys know if you guys see that with Anakin, if you guys see that, let's say with Black Widow in the future or whatever, are you guys gonna start choosing sculpted more, or do you not only that, but do you feel like Anakin and Black Widow figures that don't have a sculpted version deserve to have a sculpted version as well? That you should have the choice to pick between sculpted and rooted. Whoever wants to go.
Flo, you go,
question
bro.
made sense.
I mean, I think you should always have the choice, right? You know what I mean? The more the merrier. Sculpted was always the thing anyways before rooted hair, came onto the scene. So I don't think there's ever a problem to have both. I don't think one is better than the other. I think it just depends on the situation, depends on the character, and it depends on what you want. But I just think it's gonna take some time to dial it in, and I just think that's something that we have to think about when we are, given the opportunity very quickly about, something that you have to make a decision on a dime, something to think about, because it's not cheap, and you may find out that you don't really want to deal with that, like DLo said. So it's one of those things you're gonna have to think about. But I think he looks good for the most part, you know what I mean? There's without a doubt, we can't say that that's not Hayden Christensen, right? It's not that bad, but there's just some things that I wish would have went a little bit better and taken care of a little bit better because of, the prestigiousness of the line that they're, promoting. But
it's just not dark side Anakin right here. Like the way they have the background, like I don't understand some of these bloggers.
I think they're playing around with it because I think that they're, teasing. I mean, it's bloggers, but I think they're teasing the fact of like, all right, well, we have this look. We already know that the dark side one is coming soon, right?
Right here, like
that's the same exact base and figure and everything.
It's
like the
dark
old
side
one, right?
Anakin right there.
That's funny.
But DLo, what do you think? Do you think there should always be a sculpted version?
Yeah. Honestly, well, if you want my honest opinion, I don't think Hot Toys should be doing rooted, in my humble opinion. I think
there you go. I
think, quite frankly, like, and this is not a knock on Artisan or anything like that. It's simply that it's a preference of mine, because I have the new John Wick in my possession, right? Yeah. And that John Wick, what's unique about that one, and they're playing around with a little bit more, is it's modular. The hair is modular, right? You have one that's a flat look, more for a casual, like, posing, and then you have an action style where the hair flows and stuff like that there. And it's simply a magnetic, right? It's just magnetic pieces plugged in. So take Anakin, for example. Anakin, for the most part, his hair would look something like this, right? But when he's in the middle of a duel, say he's fighting Obi-Wan, for example, his hair flows a little bit more. Maybe it's a little bit wilder and stuff like that. How great would it be if they took what they did with John Wick, and they did it with the Batman as well too, and they're going to be doing it with X-23 from the Deadpool series soon, having other hair pieces to interchange, so that way you can get the dynamic and the statuesque look you want. They're phenomenal at their work when it comes to sculpted. Like, their sculpted hair has gotten better and better per year.
Yeah, I think they did that with the Scarlet Witch too, the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah,
that's true. That's right. I forgot. But when it comes to that, though, if you really think about it, the whole point of why they never did root in the first place, because that was always a weakness for Hot Toys. When they did it before for other figures, it was dull, it was cheap. Now they're using better materials allegedly, but at the same time, you know, if the execution is not well received overall, then you're kind of fighting a losing battle just to try to keep up with your competition. I would say go the other way around, because, you know, for what your concerns are, what everybody's concerns are about the longevity of these figures, you know, the delicacy of these figures, how much work I'm gonna have to put into it myself. I think everybody would be so much happier if they had options such as, you know, interchangeable pieces to their hair, like the John Wick that I have on the side of me over here, because you have purrs. Now, when you change out the magnetic hair, you don't have to worry about messing it up. You can just put it right back in. If I want to use the eyes on this Anakin, I'm gonna have to get in there, and I might fuss around and mess up the hair. Then I gotta fix the hair after changing the eyes. Then I'm not gonna want to change the eyes out because I don't want to mess with the hair. So, you know, it's a circle of just constantly not wanting to do the work, because it gets like becomes a job after a while. So for most people, I think if you gave everybody the option for sculpted and you cut the numbers down on the Artisan, you got a banger of a situation here, because you're going to get enough of the figure out for folks who want it, who want the fuss of having to do it. And then you can also appease maybe a select 1,500 people who want to take it to that next step. You know what I mean? Yep. Kind of like going from like an iPhone Pro to a Pro Max, right? You just go just that extra notch more just to get the certain different features that you don't get on that model, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of just throwing it out there. But I mean, I would say, to kind of answer your question, long-winded, I'm sorry, but yeah, let's get a sculpted in, and let's keep the rooted going for some folks who want it, because I still think in my heart of hearts, more people prefer sculpted than rooted. That's just personally how I think about it.
And I kind of like to think about it sometimes, like imagine like what if Artisan was just catered to something else? Like, you know, a lot of people in the chat are saying like leather and stuff like that. What if it wasn't even about the hair? Like, it would still sell. Like, we'd want these figures anyways. What if they did like all genuine leather parts, die-cast lightsaber, like real lighting, like for real serious, like almost CCFL, but like super safe Hot Toys quality lighting. Super safe. Like, that'd be insane, and people would still go for it. Crazy diorama base with it too, or something. You know, it would still sell. So the hair aspect still seems like gimmicky in the grand scheme of things, even though it's cool, you know what I mean? But overall, I am perfectly fine with sculpted. Like, they're just good.
Yeah, I'm fine with sculpted too. I think my biggest fear is 3 years down the road. You know what I mean? What are these figures going to look like a few years down the road? And if someone who doesn't want to touch the hair, what is it going to have to look like for me to actually get to the point of touching the hair? And what products do I use? What, you know,
like
DLo, you should make a video. You should make a DLo. You should make a video for hair. That's what
I get that all the time, man. Like, listen, I don't like rooted. I just happen to know how to. I know how to do it.
I don't like to do it. I'm not making a video.
Right. I've done a couple tutorials in between in some of our reviews. So I mean, if you want some guidance there, you can go back to a few of my view reviews, and I've done it on camera. But listen, man, it's no different than your own hair. Like, there's no secret to this stuff here. It's like, if you don't like to comb your hair, don't get an Artisan. You know,
right?
It's not. If you're a hat guy, don't get Artisan. Get sculpted, buddy. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's one of those things. Like, it's next level. Like, it is. Like, it's an art form. Unfortunately, as goofy as that, nerdy as that sounds right now, it really is, because you know you have these miniature characters, and you have to treat their hair like you would treat your own, in a way, you know? So, you know, like, if you're not willing to put in the work, just get sculpted. It's just going to make your life easier. Cause some people just don't have the time to do that either. You know, sometimes you just want to pose it up and put it in display with the rest of your figures and kind of move on to the next one. If you're constantly keeping up with it and having to keep up with it here just to keep it looking the way you want it, man, it might frustrate the shit out of you. You may never want to get another Artisan again. You know?
Well, I mean, this looks like it has so much product in it that it looks like sculpted almost. It's kind of crazy.
I feel like that's part of the problem too with it. Like, from the prototype, like the prototype that looks so flowy. You know,
Right.
compared to this is like really, it seems like matted down. The curls are really tight, but
They didn't want to show that poofiness like they did last time. So they're like,
yeah, right, exactly. But like the light side version, like him, like he looked more like the prototype, is what I mean to say. Like in the movie, actually, light side.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of is like, damn, that sucks. But then at the same time, is like he still is manageable if you try.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna see if I can find the artist who was messing around with his here, just so maybe you can. I don't know, maybe you can pull it up real quick.
Sure.
But like here.
While you look for that, I'll check in with the chat real quick. Big Rib saying that he didn't go for this one because I am really hoping they announce a dark side Anakin. Yeah, I think they will. I think they will. Mike Litter is saying, just give me sculpted. Daddy can't take this kind of stress. Ain't nobody got time.
That's
for
real,
that.
man. That's real.
Let's see. Fig Poser saying Hot Toys is so disrespectful. 550 all in and no genuine leather.
Facts.
And they couldn't even give us a USB Dooku saber. Shaking my head. That's
the
true,
thing, man. It's crazy.
That's true. That is true.
And they had a lot of writing on this head sculpt and that hair. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
When you put all your eggs in one basket like this here, and it doesn't come out the way everybody wants it, that's a flop. And especially when this is the most anticipated, when this is the most expensive Artisan that hasn't released yet. You guys know that?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like that's what
the
makes
killer
it so crazy, because it's like, dude, we just had Jack Sparrow, the Joker, you know, like all these other Artisan ones that have come out so far, and they've been pretty good, you know. So
far,
compared
well, that's the
to
thing is, I feel like this has been the most anticipated figure for many people.
Right.
And when you see blogger photos, I think because of that, people are going to be a little harder on it. You know, they're going to be a little bit more honest about it. They're going to look at they're going to nitpick it a little bit more because they want the best, and that's what they're hoping for.
Right.
All right, let's see here.
That's the other thing too. Like someone needs to like fact check these photos before they go out, because I don't know how this gets past JC Hong and Howard.
Yeah,
like, let's post
what's
these.
up with that? Like they just post whatever. Okay, here you go. Made some. All right, put it on Facebook. Real quick, got Jedi Knights Watch in the house saying hello to everyone. Thank you for being here, sir. Too sweet. I hope this night finds you all well. I'll be the one to say it. This figure isn't worth the price of admission. Man, this guy's going to end up with one of them.
Yeah, right.
I could see it.
I'd rather have plastic that is sculpted and shaped properly.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
It's fair. It's fair. We got Low-Key Collector in the house as well. What is up, Calvin? Good to have you here. Sup, fellas? Man, that Lakers game the other night against the Bulls, that was rough. That was rough. That ending, that half-court shot to win it, for the Bulls to win it, kind of hurt a little bit.
That's a dope photo you got on there, Loki.
That is a cool.
Took me a second. Like, what a reference.
Photo.
If you know, you know.
Oh, that is. Is that white boy can't jump?
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. But with Luke and LeBron, that's clever. I like that.
I like that.
I like that.
Let's see. Movie Can is saying, I'm still excited for this Anakin. It's not a deal breaker for me. Well, whenever it is a deal breaker, give me your pre-order, sir.
That's the thing. Is like it's not.
When it
it's
breaks,
not
call
bad
me.
enough to cancel.
It's funny.
Jedi saying, I think it's going to be worse if they have a sculpted and rooted version, because people won't be able to find the value in Artisan if it's not top tier.
That's also a good point. You know,
That's true.
What really sets it aside?
Yeah, right. Everyone just kind of saying hello. Christian Crosshair Cooper in the house saying, goated panel. Thank you for being here, sir. I am Vengeance. Love the name. Hot Toys has pressure, especially with Wanda and Black Widow coming. Yeah, and that's going to be the longer hair. So that's going to be really interesting to see. So I'm kind of looking forward to see how that kind of looks and is produced, and you know how that feels in hand. So, or looks in hand, I should say. I don't want to feel that hair. I'd be afraid to ruin it. Okay, real quick. DLo, I know you sent me something on Instagram. Let me get to that real quick. Should be pretty quick here.
Yeah, I'll just say real quick, the long hair, I think it's gonna be easier, guys. Like honestly, those are the ones I'm not worried about. It's the short hair ones that you got to be concerned about.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Iron Spider.
Yeah, because you already seen Wonder Woman. Don't forget. I mean, everybody forgets Wonder Woman, but that's technically their first, long hair
WB100.
rooted figure. So,
Mhm.
so yeah,
Right.
she's holding up
That's
okay.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So DLo,
Yeah,
this
this
is
photo.
from Access 5252. Yeah, this looks good. So he messed with the hair a little bit and looks a lot better than what we saw before. Let me try to zoom in a little bit here if I can. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, so apparently he modified the body or something. He wasn't saying what exactly he did with the body. The body proportion looks really great. He just messed it. I think there's a fat suit or something underneath there, and he probably took it out or something.
Okay.
But the hair
is there
like,
a video?
No. This is just first teaser. I'm sure he'll put up more photos later. He's usually good for that. But the hair itself, like you notice, it has more volume. Now, granted, keep in mind this is a George Lucas decision. This isn't a Hot Toys decision. That's the way his hair is. But you see, he fussed with it a little bit, gave it a little bit more volume. And if you compare that to the movie, aside of the hair color being inaccurate, his hair kind of looks like that for the most part of the movie, But you gotta understand, like these artisan figures, they have globs of product in them there just for transport to get to you. So it's not ideal. I don't think they know how to style it and keep it intact until it arrives wherever it's going to be, arriving to. But I think if you see this right here, this should give you a little hope that like if you play around for a little bit and you're gentle, you can get it to a really nice look to it there. And this looks honestly fantastic.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, I mean but this is, you obviously guys already know, we all know that's not how our Anakins are going to come in. When those come in, they're going to look like how they look in the blogger photos.
Sure.
But once it's in your hand, if you're willing to put in the work, you can get a really outstanding look like this. And I'm sure that's just like him messing
What do you
around
do?
for
Just
few
fluff
minutes.
it up a little bit, or?
Well, it's hard to say from just like one angle of the photo.
Yeah.
But if I had to take a guess, I'm guessing he used a little water to soften up some of the product so it's not so stiff. Took some really tiny tweezers and kind of slowly kind of pulled them apart little by little and kind of pushed it out. So that way it can kind of breathe a little bit there and kind of fluff out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Not too much to where it's like suddenly it looks like, morning hair, but just enough to give Anakin a little bit more of a cleaner
Sure.
kind of
What
look.
do you do? Get like a small spray bottle, or do you get like a comb that's wet?
Personally, I don't recommend using like a spray bottle or something like that, just because you don't want to oversaturate and you don't know if that product is going to have a negative reaction to the paint application. So be careful with that. I would say you want more controlled water. Take like a little cup, like the ones you for mouthwash or something like that in the morning.
Okay.
Put a little bit of water, dab a little thin paintbrush, dab it in there and kind of strokes on the spots of where you want to start loosening it up. So that way the rest of it stays intact and you're not just taking a shower with your figure there. You just little spots here and there to loosen up the material. Then use your tweezers to kind of slowly pull it apart to how you see fit. So that way you get the look that you're looking for with your figure. That would be the first thing I would do if it was mine.
But
All
then
right.
long term, like, is that gonna have an effect? Because like, is the water taking away the product, or like that's what I'm worried about.
Naturally it's going to soften it up, but you got to remember there's so much on there that it's there to honestly be loosened up, right? Because you should you should take some of it out, not all of it. You should take some of it out, so that way you have some intact to keep the certain parts that are supposed to be flat, like the top of his hair, for example, and keep that intact. If you took too much off, that's what I was saying before, you're going to have this big morning hair kind of look where everything's puffed up. But if you just touch up the areas where it's too flat, like say the bottom and the sides over here, if you do those sides right there, look, that's exactly what he did. He basically just kind of softened up those corners there. So that way the volume can kind of push out the hair a little bit further out, as opposed to being tucked in, how it's going to come on arrival. So if you just play with it just a little bit, I mean, you can do it, but you just got to be willing to do it. But it's very simple if you just take your time.
Well, guys, I don't know about you, but I can't wait till DLo comes out with his video.
Right, and it's seriously a perfect video for you to do right now too, because everyone's scared to touch the hair now because of what happened with Joker. And
gonna start having people send
happened with Joker?
their head sculpts to him.
You guys want to see my Joker? You guys, I mean, because I messed with mine.
Yeah.
You guys want to see? Let me grab it. Go. You guys chat for now. I'll be right back.
People are
Okay,
gonna start
okay.
shipping their head sculpts to DLo to fix them.
Yeah, I know I will. Hey, here you go, sir. I'll see you in a couple months. Oh man, let's see real quick. Yeah, Christian Cooper saying, if anyone has second thoughts on their Artisan Anakin pre-order, let me know. Hey, I got first dibs, sir. You can have second. I forget to do, do any of you guys have this Anakin pre-ordered? I know Flavio does. I do not, but I want them. And DLo, did you get one? Or
You know what? Funny enough, someone was nice enough to let me take their pre-order. So,
Wow.
so yeah. So shout out.
Well,
I will leave them anonymous there. I don't want to give up.
probably leaving them anonymous because
Right.
that
Guys,
guy probably told me
DLo's
that
like
I
a
can have
cat.
it.
He always lands on his feet.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I'm like the most agile fat guy you've ever met, bro. So I'm like Beverly Hills Ninja. But
Yeah.
look, this
Let me
this
get
is
you
mine,
in
man.
full screen.
look real quick here. Let me fix it out of focus real quick. Let me fix that. All right.
Oh
Look at
my
that.
gosh,
See that?
Bro, and it looks so
That's nice.
sick.
That's so nice.
Yo, Matt, I'm gonna grab mine because I left mine stock and I haven't touched it. So
Okay,
let's
good idea.
compare.
Yeah. Saying look, that's all I
Flavio's
did,
gonna be
man.
working on his hair while he
Oh,
looks at yours real
Sorry,
quick.
let me fix that real. See
Dude, that
that?
looks really good.
That's it. You just tease it, man. And that was it. It was just, it takes a while to get the result there, but this
Yeah.
is just water. There's nothing.
Just water, huh?
Nothing. Just water. Little futzing, little water. That's all I did,
Man.
man. But I mean, you guys have seen a million of these pictures. Does this look like how yours came, Flavio?
No, it doesn't. I'm gonna try to
You wanna show it?
guys.
Here.
I mean, I haven't done
Yeah.
anything. I haven't done anything to mine at all. But let me
Okay.
just take them
All right, let's see it.
Got the big screen.
All right.
See if I can.
Okay.
This
So
is
yeah,
how
the
mine-
difference is real, and and it's nothing against Flavio's there, but I can definitely see the difference, like how DLo teased his a little bit.
Like his.
So
has
when you
more-
get that like straightforward look, you can tell DLo popped his out just a little bit or did
Right.
something to the sides.
Yep.
Yeah, but both look amazing. Both look really good.
I mean, I would love to try to mess with it. It's just I gotta get over the hill. You know what I mean?
You
Yeah,
gotta warm
yeah.
up
And you're
to the
gonna-
idea,
you're-
man.
When
And
you
you're
spend
gonna have to
$500 on
eventually.
something, you have to, it's
Yep. And you're gonna have
nerve-wracking.
to eventually, just like he said. You
Yeah.
know, with Artisan, you have to expect to do something out of the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, we got 20 in the house, guys. Thank you for sticking around for the show. We got about another hour and 15 left in the show. We got a lot to talk about, guys, and we are halfway. And if you guys want to talk a little bit more about Anakin after the halfway mark, we can. But it is time for a little top or bottom. All right, I know this is DLo's favorite game just because of the name. And I only made one today. We didn't have one the last show. We brought Choose to Collect around. I think I'm going to kind of alternate those two things just so it's not so much work the day of trying to get going. But I made a Choose to Collect, a top or bottom. Now, what this is, you guys are looking at like, okay, but this is 2020 versus 2021, and a lot of people put this on their top 5, top 10 figures of that year. Did a lot of research. I watched like 3 or 4 different YouTube channels, videos. I mean, from Jeddah to Brother Cousins to Jedi Knights Watch to just everybody. So shout out to them. And I got like the 5 that I saw the most per year, and there was like Mysterio for 2021 as well, but I don't want to have too much Spider-Man. So I try to just keep it separated a little bit here, but yeah, I thought it was cool kind of seeing back-to-back years, 5 years ago already. You know what I mean? And kind of how far we've come and what year was the better year. I always like talking about that with movies. Everybody knows my favorite year in movies is 2014. What year had the best Hot Toys figures? 2020 versus 2021. And DLo, if it doesn't show on here, you guys somewhat remember, bring it up. That's fine. But DLo, I'll start with you. Top or bottom, sir?
It's a good list, man. I would say. I mean, these are what year and what year exactly? These again?
2020 and 2021.
I need to retire from this.
So
collecting
2020 up
business here.
top, 2021 at bottom.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, honestly, I think it's kind of pretty straightforward. 2020 top, I think, would be the better one here, just because I mean, you got some heavy hitters here. So you have obviously Snyder Cuts, Justice League, BVS, all that aura from that going, because I mean, people still loved it, the figures wise at least. So that's huge. You got the birth of the Mandalorian line, which honestly, quite frankly, changed Hot Toys Star Wars forever. If it wasn't for the Mandalorian line, we wouldn't be getting any of the stuff we're getting today. So you got to give them their flowers on that.
Yeah.
The final Battlesuit Mark 85 for Iron Man. I mean, that's iconic as hell. If this was the battle damage, it would be an absolute no-brainer. But still, clean suit, awesome. Thanos, amazing figure as well too. Then honestly, a sleeper, Alita. Was actually a dope ass movie. I really liked it a lot there, and it was kind of one of those figures I kind of wish I picked up, and at the time I was like strictly Star Wars, strictly DC kind of thing going on. So, but yeah, I mean they're both a good list there, but I just feel like historically speaking, like you got DC, Star Wars, Mando, Endgame, and then Alita, which is a standalone movie which is great. So I think that's a hell of a strong list.
So DLo is saying top. Flavio, before you go, I do want to just say it's kind of cool too, just looking back, how long ago Rey Skywalker, was released. How long ago, Man of Steel, Hellboy, like the Captain America Endgame were released. And it kind of gives us an idea of what figures may be reissued or 2.0'd. Flavio, go ahead, top or bottom?
This is easy too, man, for sure. I'm gonna go with the top as well. I just think it just holds more weight, it was a better time, and the figures speak for themselves. So the bottom had some cool ones, like I really liked that Venom, but overall, like at that time, people still poo on the Sonyverse and stuff and things like that. So he's a good figure.
But when that Venom came out, though, it was a lot of people's top two. I would say.
That's the thing. Yeah, for sure. But like DLo said, you have Man of Steel, Mando, Endgame, Alita. That and that's a good figure that I always see people talk about.
Yeah.
Ever since I got in the hobby, so for sure the top has a lot of strong figures for that year. So I would pick the top.
Yeah, and you know what? I would pick the top as well. Venom is down. My boy Venom is down at the bottom, but I got to go with the top. I think it's crazy when you think, okay, so I would always say Venom is one of my favorite figures until I've seen Carnage, which is better than Venom, and then you got the 21 inches of Venom, which is better than this Venom, and you got the comic book one coming out. So it's weird, like after a few years, like almost how these figures get a little tarnished in a way. But yeah, I still love the Venom figure, but I would go with the top. I mean, you got Iron Man there, Thanos, you got Mandalorian, just a better list. And DLo, I'm actually kind of surprised because I know you love Hellboy.
I do.
That's a good figure.
Yeah, but yeah, top all around. We got Jedi Knights Watch here saying top easily, showing off his membership for 8 months. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Being part of the Brickyard. Too sweet, my friend. And so top or bottom, that was the I'll probably do like 2022 versus 2023 next week. Yeah, thanks for playing, guys. We're all on top today. Okay. So anything else you guys want to say about Anakin Skywalker? Flavio, you're funny, man.
I will say this is not the last we see of Anakin Skywalker. I smell something else cooking.
That makes me worry.
I do. I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people have that hope, but also that idea that there's probably more Anakin in store.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yep. And Flavio likes being on top. You do pick top a lot. Yeah.
Let me not say nothing. I'm going to keep it.
I'm a
guest on this show.
Oh, yeah. I agree, DLo. I think
I'll
that,
drink to that.
I think there's another thing too. If you guys look at the, what is it? The Star Wars what is it called? The exclusive
The
Star
checklist?
Wars. Yeah, the checklist. Thank you. You made it sound super easy or super simple. The checklist. But they're okay. So everything's kind of lined up together. If you notice, where like you got the cost babies all together, you have even the Grogu is kind of separated from the 1/6 scale stuff. But you've got a hot toy in the first picture there, and then you got 2 spaces in between another figure. So I feel like we're gonna at least get 2 more announcements from that hot toys wise. So looking forward to seeing that, and I kind of hope it's not Jar Jar Binks. That's what I'm getting at here, because I want a Jar Jar Binks. I want to be able to get that in my collection. I feel like I'm the only one that likes Jar Jar in the world, but would be nice. It would be nice, and could be a shell shading Anakin Skywalker as well, just like we saw with Vader. All right, so we got some more figures to talk about, so let's go ahead and bring up the next one here, and that is Deadpool. Battle damage Deadpool, one that I feel like a lot of us knew was coming. Well, one, because of the video that Ryan Reynolds showed us, but even before that, I remember doing a panel with a bunch of people, a bunch of you guys, DLo. I think both of you guys were on the panel, and we had Hotline on there, Jedi, and a bunch of other people, and we were talking about figures that we thought could be possible. And one of the things that one of us said was, we would get that Ryan Reynolds head sculpt with a battle damage version, and we sure as heck did. I think this figure looks great. I actually like this half mast better. I think this is the look right here that, and they don't really do half mast well, except for maybe Miles and Deadpool. And I think this looks amazing. DLo, I'm guessing you're getting this figure, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm a little torn with the fact that I'm going to have 2 Deadpool figures in my collection, which is normally for Marvel. I don't like to have more than one representation of a character, but this one, I feel like a lot of people are thinking about either selling their original and picking up this one, or possibly doing 2. I'm going to make the argument to do both. Yeah. I really do. I just feel like with the accessories that come with this one, they naturally belong to the original. Right, and the ones that come with the original naturally belong with this one, a la the gold guns, Dogpool, Deadpool. What's the other one? Is it called? What's the ghost one? Zombie Pool? Is it
Zombie Pool? Yep.
Zombie Pool, right? So I mean,
all
those.
Is it Corpse Pool? Zombie Pool?
Head Pool.
Head Pool.
Head Pool. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So you got all those accessories that naturally belong on this one over here. I feel compelled to have both, but I feel like with Deadpool, it's okay to do, because I feel like he's such like a fourth wall breaking kind of character. You can put him in any part of your collection, and it makes sense to why he's there, right? Because he's not supposed to be there. So I've got like 2 levels of my collection that are both for Marvel. So I think what I'll do is I'll keep one with put one with the Avengers, even though he's obviously not an Avenger, and then maybe have another one display with Wolverine when he comes in or something like that. Yeah. So I like it. I like it a lot. I like the clean suit and the battling suit. I like them both there because, it just makes sense, honestly. So, but the head sculpt, I'll be honest with you. I think I told you this earlier, Brick, but I'm not crazy about having the head sculpt on the Deadpool simply because, Deadpool usually has his mask on. So it really doesn't affect me that way. But I do really, really, really like the half mask head sculpt.
Yeah.
I feel like if you had a choice between one or the other, I'd pick that one. But since you're getting both, what a hell of a value. You know what I mean? So,
would you use any of the other head sculpts for your clean version?
Yeah. I was thinking about using that one right there, the half for that, because I remember in the beginning of the movie, didn't he kind of take it off for like a little bit? No, I'm thinking of the Deadpool 2 in the beginning.
Yeah,
because he doesn't. I don't think he takes his mask off half mask this whole movie. I think that's more part 2, if my memory serves me right there.
Yeah, it was like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, in the beginning of the credits. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of there. So I wouldn't mind putting this on the clean one, and then maybe just having like the battle damage head sculpt. Because if you've seen that one in detail, like it's so good. Like it's got the claw marks on the side as well too. Like it's gonna be tough to pick one, but this one is my personal favorite.
Yeah, this looks really, really good. Flavio, I know that you have the clean version. I know you want this version. Are you keeping both?
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping both. It's one of those things, man, where it's like, it kind of sucks, that you have to go through, two different figures to get, all the looks. But once the clean one came out, I already knew like that's what was gonna happen, and it is what it is. But I thought it was the summer blockbuster. I thought it was, it's still a great movie. I could put it on anytime, and just every part of the movie is just so great. So, I'm open arms for, Deadpool at this point. But he looks great, man. Compared to the clean version, the weathering on it is so heavy. Shout out to Figure Hideout. I seen his video, and like he put them side by side, and it's so bright. Like he's so bright up there. But next to that, like it's gonna look completely different. So that's kind of why I don't really have an issue with it. And also for all the interchangeable accessories, like I don't know how I want to do it yet, but I think I'm planning on maybe having him, with the full like avocado head sculpt on the clean one. I'm thinking. Okay. I'm not sure. I have to see, or maybe the mask up. But I know I definitely want to use, everything and try to use as much as possible. I was kind of thinking of using the mask up with the clean version and putting the baby pool with the baby carrier like that.
Sure,
that's cool.
With the family, because that would look cool. But then I also want to use the full head sculpt too. So I'm just gonna mess around with it. But the accessories are awesome. I love the fact that we are getting, the Wolverine, body parts, because that was just an awesome part in the movie.
Yeah.
The base, it looks cool. It's a different style, that we've gotten. I like the blood on it, the snow scene, the beginning, the opener is just, a big part of the movie too. So I'm happy that we're getting all this stuff. I think people, are going to be happy with this figure too. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I think I was telling you, Flavio, that I kind of want to have, I kind of want to have Deadpool with like the clean Deadpool sitting on the couch with his, the avocado head sculpt, and then having like, I don't know, my Artisan Black Widow sitting on the couch with him, and then you got Ladypool just like with the Uzis pointing on both, like almost like he's cheating on her or something, just kind of walked in. Cool. No, I think that'd be kind of funny, but yeah, this is exciting. I think I would give the battle damage to Gold Guns though, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I was trying to figure out. Like when they were walking out, he had his mask off, right? Or he had it on. No, he had it on, and Wolverine didn't have the mask on yet because he put it on right when they did that.
Yeah.
So I was planning on having him like masked with the Gold Guns like this, and then using some of the other accessories for the clean version, but there's a lot.
Yeah, this is very much like Mando, like when Duracell Mando came out, and then the accessories that you should have got with him came with the Beskar one.
Yeah.
So it feels kind of like the same, like you kind of have to have both. But I don't know. I think a lot of people who are fans of the movie are going to be okay with it. I feel like with, Marvel, I think now people are very more selective, and I think this movie became a classic. It really had an instant classic, quite honestly. Yeah. So I think, there's going to be part of it's going to be hype, but part of it's going to be just, people who just really love the movie a lot and are willing to just invest in it. I mean, we haven't been this excited about a line from a movie outside of No Way Home. And look how well that did for them. Right. You know what I mean? So, and there's still so much more to go. We still don't have an official announcement for Gambit or Electro or anything like that yet. So, and we're still kind of crossing our fingers, hoping for more variants of Wolverine as well too. So yeah, we're not done with this line by a long shot. So I think if you wanted to build out an entire line or a case or a detail just to Deadpool with what you're getting from the movie, I mean, there's some good stuff in this here. So yeah, I'm still on board. I'm going to keep collecting Deadpool. I'm going to skip a couple of the kid pools and lady pools, but I'm going to get the main guys.
You gonna get the Resistance?
Yeah, I really want Blade. I really
Yeah, I
want Blade a
want
lot,
Blade.
man.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, I want the original." I can see that, but like honestly, I like the old version of Blade too. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, he looked great. I want Blade and X-23 the most. I know everyone really wants Gambit. I do too,
Yeah.
but if I had to pick two, it'd be X-23 and Blade, and then Gambit, and then Elektra. And that
I
order.
want to make brown suit Wolverine. That's like my
Yeah.
top wish
I
list.
still feel like that's gonna come out.
But I feel
like
like it's
a
going to come out like
summer-
5 years
Summer
from now. But it's not going to come out
exclusive or
now.
something,
No,
Toy
it's
Fair.
going to be one of those things where like, why are they making Deadpool figures out of nowhere? You know what I mean?
Well,
That's what
could
it's gonna
he
be.
could he wear the brown suit more in, let's say, Secret Wars, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And then maybe that's when they make. I mean, yeah, 5 years from now, that could be.
I don't want to wait
a
5
figure.
years though.
I
Man.
know.
That looks so good.
Yeah.
As soon as that movie showed that, I was like, I don't want the yellow suit anymore. Please make
Figure.
Yeah, so true.
You guys ever just sit in the theater and just go, "That's a figure"?
Oh, yeah.
When I was watching the movie too, I was like, "Holy crap! There's so many figures
Yeah.
in this movie."
this one. Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. I was sitting next to Jedi and Snow White. We went with our families, not by ourselves. And as soon as Snow White appeared, I looked at him and I was like, "Figure." Man. But real quick, let's check with the chat. Jedi saying my 5-year anniversary is in a couple weeks, half a decade already.
Damn.
Since he's been
congratulations,
collecting and YouTube and all the above, it's going by fast. He also says Flavio likes being on top. And yes, I did tell him that.
Oh,
One
man.
Adam 12, what is up? Brickyard
Thought I
member.
could confide in you.
Hello, gents. We'll catch replay later. Hope all is well. Thank you, my good sir. I saw another comment that dinner is ready, so enjoy your dinner. Big Rib saying I'm more of a on the side kind of guy. I'm lazy. My gosh. I should skip some of these. Let's see here. Philiburn. I'm getting 2 Wolverines. Might as well have 2 Deadpool. 2 Wolverines.
That's a good point too. Like,
Now, are you getting 2 of the yellow suits, or one of the yellow suit, one with the jacket, or are you gonna have 3?
I have the regular and the TVA one, but I'm debating on if I need another deluxe regular to have the mask and the head sculpt like all this way. But I don't know. I don't think it's really necessary right now, but it's
Man,
I mean, you can always like kit bash like a Logan. You know what I mean? Get your money's worth out of it there,
right.
like civilian style. Like you
how
can
much
buy
is,
the.
how much is Logan going for?
He's not a lot. You can get the Days of Future Past one. Just head swap it. You know.
Okay,
Update,
yeah.
Boom. There you go. You got a brand
Okay.
new Wolvie right there.
Yeah.
But you know what I was thinking? I was hoping somebody will do. I hope somebody's thinking about this right now, because instantly the first thing I thought about is like, what are you gonna do with that head sculpt, that Deadpool head sculpt, the avocado one? And honestly, I want somebody to kit bash a civilian Wade Wilson. You know,
Gosh, that would be so cool. Yeah.
straight up like selling
the
some
wig,
Honda
get the-
Odysseys. You
yeah.
know what I mean? That
That'd be
that
cool.
would be cool. Maybe
Somebody's
put a
gonna
fake
do it.
toupee on them or something.
Yeah. Yep. Someone's got to do it. That'd be cool.
That would.
Yeah, I might need that. SpongeBob SquareBalls in the house. Hey, Brick, what is up, man? Good to have you here. Need to get you on the show sometime too. I haven't seen you live in a while. Hope to see you live again soon. TVA and deluxe suit. Yeah, I skipped on the TVA. I skipped on that one. I am Vengeance saying, are those Wolverine third-party claws worth getting? I would say they were worth getting. I don't have them, but I don't know if they are now that we have this figure. If you don't plan on getting the figure, then I would say yes, still get the third-party claws.
Yeah, and the only thing that I can say about the third party is that he did rooted on the Wolverine skull compared to Hot Toys did sculpted, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the claws are die cast in that third party pack or not. But
Right. There they are. Looks pretty cool. Gotta love that mask.
yeah, I do too. I almost like it more than the full head sculpt, to be honest.
Yeah, I do. I think I
That's
do.
how I feel.
I think I'm with DLo. And
And
you,
it-
Flavio.
And it's crazy too because like the full head sculpt, like I think it looks good, but I don't think it looks as good as it was, because like, again, I feel like it got a little softer, which again is noted, but that kind of bugs me a little bit because there's certain details in there that are a little bit soft, and it would have just been so good if it was sharp, you know?
Yeah.
But
if I can, I'm gonna put the Ryan Reynolds head sculpt on one of my Spider-Man figures because of the whole scene when he's doing the, you know. I think I'm gonna put on
true.
I think I'm gonna put on Toby. Why
we
not?
got no staples too, and wig.
Oh yeah.
Do the wig, do the whole
We need
car
a
dealership
civilian
outfit.
We need it.
That'd
Come
be
on, Hot
What,
Toys.
what was it, like the CarMax outfit? Is
Yeah,
that
it was
what
like a
he
fake
did?
CarMax. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him
Hey, Hot-
slinging vehicles with Rick.
Hot Toys, if you're listening.
What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Get us a civilian. Let's go. Okay, so I think all three of us are getting this figure then. Do you guys know when it's going to be available on Sideshow? Like,
I don't
like it when they do
because
this.
the bloggers
Yeah, the
came out
information is like all over the place.
speaking of Sideshow, I got like 5 delays yesterday. What's that about? Like, what's going on? Like, everything's getting delayed.
Well, like I'm starting to see the trend here. Like, if you get a conversion, like if everybody's getting conversions one day, tomorrow means you're gonna have bad news and everything else is being delayed, because that's happened like 3 or 4 times in a row now.
That is true.
Yeah, if you're getting conversions, 1, the figure's about to release. Okay. But 2, yours from Sideshow will be delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I was just
Whatever
telling,
else you ordered.
Yeah,
I was
and
just
whatever else you
telling
ordered.
Brick this the other day. Like, I'm heated. Like, the freaking other Batman Armory waitlisted, and my dumbass didn't. Like, I didn't even PO. Like, I had the last chance page up and everything, and I literally went to go do something, came back, gone. That same day, I got the waitlist conversion for the Dewback
Oh wow.
pack. So now it's like, oh, okay, Hot Toys, you're gonna throw that on my lap and make me make a tough decision when I know a month from now you're gonna hit me with the Batman Armory waitlist conversion too.
Man,
It's gonna happen.
Man, I'm
It's gonna
pissed.
happen, man.
I'm pissed.
So I don't pre-order, bro.
It's annoying.
I don't pre-order for that reason there. If I want it, I'll find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that.
but
Like,
Flavio,
yeah.
I swear, every time I talk to you on the phone, you're on your way to get a figure from the post office. So
Dude, it just happens to be
it's
that
seriously
way.
every time. Oh man.
Flo, did I tell you that my jack is delayed?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I
You saw that?
saw. I heard
Yeah.
you say that, and that's annoying. Like, I don't understand that.
Bro.
Like,
Yeah,
the
that's one I don't understand either, because everyone's gotten their jack except for my boy DLo.
Everybody
right
from
here,
the
so.
Wolfpack grabbed one,
Yeah.
got one, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, but
yeah, that's crazy. And I didn't even know about that. Like, people were saying that the hat they changed it.
yeah, apparently they fixed it. Someone's saying allegedly here. So hopefully I guess mine when it finally arrives has a better hat than everybody else has.
Yeah,
That'd be, you know,
that'd be a plus.
that'd be nice for my pain and suffering over here.
Yeah.
You know,
It'd be great. We got 2 more figures to talk about, and we have our main topic for the show. We're going to talk about too before we get off here. We'll make this one a little shorter, but I want to kind of talk about this Miles Morales here. I really like it because of what it stands for from the game. You know, this was Miles's uncle. His Prowler suit kind of gave it to Miles as a gift after the fact that he had passed away. So pretty cool that he left it there for him. And so I like that. I like the story-driven Spidey suits. If it's not really story-driven in the video game, for example, the Superior Spidey suit, I skipped on that one. I know that's a good story with the comic books, but with the game itself, it didn't really have a story at all. So yeah, but this one right here, the anti-Ox suit, the anti-Venom suit, those are the ones that I want because it has something to do with the story for the games. Flavio, being another Spider-Man fan like myself, is this one that you're going to pick up?
You know what, Brick? For us Spider-Man fans, I might make a hot take here, but I think I might let this one go, to be honest, man. Like, and it has nothing to do with the figure. Like, it looks fire, but it's just, there's just so many other Spider-Man, suits that I would rather want to have, but it sucks for me because that's like my favorite colors. Like, green and purple are like some of my favorite colors. So it's just the fact that it's a limited, figure. It's it's timing for me. I have just a lot of other stuff on my plate that I want to, you know, tackle, but this piece is awesome, and I know once it's gone, it's gonna be, you know, tough to get. Is what I'm assuming, you know.
What is it, 1,500, right?
I don't know what the count
pretty
is,
pretty limited, but
it is pretty lid. And it was just kind of weird, you know, because this was on the coming soon page, if I'm not mistaken, for a long time, like probably from when I started collecting
from the previous game, and then they labeled it Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, so I was like, dang, it's crazy that, you know, it's now coming out, but what timing and it being limited, I thought it was going to be standard release the whole time. You know, I was just waiting for them to make it, and then it never happened until now. But he's great. I love the color scheme. I kind of also like the fact, I just noticed it too, I like the fact that the spider symbol is actually his eyes and the Prowler logo in a way. If you look at it, if you go to the first picture that you had, you could see it like in his pecs. The shape of his eyes on the mask are there on his chest too, and then it's also like cool. The Miles G Prowler animated logo in a way, but more like high def. So I love the way that the suit is. I love the colors, but we don't know what the price is going to be yet on this, do we?
I'm guessing it's going to be around the same price as the other Miles was, because that was also limited.
So what was that? Do you remember?
I don't. It was like $285 or something like that.
That's not bad. I mean, so the price is what's
let me double check on that.
Is what's going to determine it for me, but you know, ultimately, I just want to get some other stuff versus, you know, all these VGM Spider-Mans that have been coming out lately, because that's the other thing. I don't have the other ones, so
yeah. Jeez, I'm trying to find the price here.
It's badass though.
$295. So that's close. But yeah, DLo, I know you're not really into the video game stuff, but what do you think about for like the Spider-Man fans? Or do you think it's worth Hot Toys taking their time to create like more Spidey suits and all that, since there's so many? Or do you wish that they would like, okay, enough of the Spider-Man 2 game. Let's see some Daredevil here. Let's see some, you know, where's the Resistance at? Like, is that your mindset, or are you cool with however they're doing it?
No, I mean, honestly, like when there's a breather for my wallet, I gladly accept it. You know what I mean? So like,
I hear you.
More power to you. You guys want to get this here. It looks great. I got nothing bad to say about it. Hot Toys doesn't make it unless they think they can make money off of it. So apparently people are buying these. So just because I don't collect it, I'm sure that doesn't mean there's not hundreds of people out there who don't collect this line here. And it looks good. It looks good for what it is there. I think it's smart that it's limited. I don't know if a major release would do as well with this color scheme, because it's, you know, it's very niche for a lot of folks here. But if you're asking me my preference on Prowler, I'd rather get the Miles G Morales instead.
Right. Yeah. I really wish they would make a Prowler from the first Into the Spider-Verse movie.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Man,
great movie.
Have Uncle Aaron's Prowler. That would be
cool.
That would be cool, man. Maybe they go back. You never know.
Yeah, we need that Peter B. Parker. Those are the figures I wish they would focus on. But it's almost like a snack before I have dinner. You know, like in between lunch and dinner. I like getting these snacks here and there.
Yeah,
but
this is a figure.
You calling him a snack?
Top or bottom, baby.
What the hell?
There's a figure that I could see though that like I don't want to, and then I'm kind of contradicting what I said earlier. I could definitely see this being able to be picked up easily on the aftermarket later, like a couple years from now. You know what I mean? People are gonna have their fun with it in the collection,
sure,
and then you know they're gonna want to off it. So yeah, is it something that I would love to have in the collection? Hell yeah, because I would love to have all the Spider-Mans, you know what I mean? But right now there's just a lot of other stuff, other lines that I really want to prioritize, you know what I mean? So if it's in the grace of God later, I'm sure it'll be, something that I can, maybe flip something, to pick it up. So
what, Flavio, you just gave me an idea. We need to come up with a term for what we need. What you're talking about right there. Just waiting for it to kind of lose its luster and then kind of swoop in and get it for a good deal, etc. We need to call this something. We need to call this something here. I think because we got to make this a term for because everybody's going to pick up on this because obviously everyone watches Bugle 6 on Saturdays, 7 p.m. Eastern every other week. So we got to call this something.
Got to let it simmer.
No.
Go ahead.
What Flavio described right now, we shall forever call it sloppy seconds. Perfect. I love it. Sloppy seconds.
Sloppy seconds.
This is a sloppy seconds candidate right there for sure because it's great, but obviously timing wise, money wise, whatever wise it may be, can't get it out. But down the road doesn't mean it's not attainable.
Yes.
Right? Somebody else has to have fun with it first. So it is officially a sloppy second.
Sloppy second.
I like that.
And that's what it's going to be.
You heard it here first. Sloppy seconds.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go for this 1500. I think the other miles it was like 30 minutes or so 30-40 minutes for 1500. So that one sat a while, but the Peter Parker went pretty quick. Okay, so before we get into the last figure, I do want to talk about the topic, and that is Hot Toys getting too mainstream? Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. Is it more mainstream now to where like everybody, because before, years ago, I had no idea what a hot toy was. I'd never heard of a hot toy. And I was a nerd. I like my comics, my toys, my cards, my whatever, movies. I never heard of hot toys. I knew of statues, I knew of Prime 1. And all of a sudden, and it might be because I'm more into it now, but I feel like we're getting so many people into the hobby, or so many people that aren't even in the hobby but have something to say in the comments because they follow hot toys or something. Like I see it in comic book stores more often. I see them everywhere. We even saw them on IGN a couple times the last couple years showing off the figures. So something I don't remember ever seeing before. DLo, I'm going to start with you. What you think about this, because you've been in the world of hot toys longer than both of us, and I kind of want to hear what you think about, is it too mainstream, and what it was kind of like when you first got in.
Yeah, let me kind of pick that apart there. So when I first came in, it was a lot more niche, a lot more limited, not as many people collecting at the time, and things were different. Like if you didn't pre-order, you're going to lose out. Like black and white. That's a second. As soon as it hits the secondary market, you're at least paying an upcharge of maybe 10 to 20% more after it sells out. A year from now, it could go for double. Like that was just such common practice back then. So I kind of came in at the end of the golden age, I guess, of hot toys collecting, where things like that would happen. But yeah, it was quite common. I mean, you didn't have to do anything specifically to make it in, valuable. It kind of was instantly valuable the second it sold out. Everything. Because back then they weren't making all of it there. I mean, they had some big licenses like Alien, Predator, but they really took off once they got the Marvel license.
Sure.
And believe it or not, there was a time where Star Wars, like no one was buying it. Ironically enough, like they were sitting on shelves. They were on Sideshow's website, and I think a lot of it had to do with the new trilogy at the time, because they were releasing like OT stuff, the prequel stuff around the time Force Awakens and Last Jedi came out. So even though these were figures we would absolutely love to have, no one wanted this stuff. Like your Dark Side Anakin's, like that was like on discount with free shipping on Sideshow at a time where Sideshow would never offer that kind of stuff. So, I think Hot Toys has been for years trying to break out and become more mainstream. And honestly, I think it would have worked if we didn't hit a road bump like the pandemic, because they had a lot of momentum. They were doing really well, and they were pushing more figures out. And for a while, they were still selling out, even though they were clearly making more of certain figures. But, I think with that road bump that they experienced and that extra stock, because people left the hobby as well as new people coming into the hobby, not knowing how it used to be in the hobby, I think a lot of that changed to where, like, right now, Hot Toys is kind of going through an identity crisis right now. Because they want to, what company doesn't want to get bigger, right?
Right.
But at the same time, you're in a niche, high end, expensive collectible hobby that right now with economics the way it is, like it's hard to be that at the same time. So, but that being said, it is becoming more mainstream. They're still trying to push out more, but I think we're just in that weird place, man, where it's just like, you know, the economy the way it is right now with, and collectors looking for more deals, more and more. It's hard to balance being collectible and still something that's attainable for people too. So it's an interesting time. But they're 100% trying to break that. But at the price ranges of where we collect that, I mean, I don't know if that's attainable to be mainstream.
Right. Yeah, it's really interesting what COVID kind of did with, you know, what happened with Hot Toys, with the community when COVID happened. And Flavio, I'm not sure if you were around during that time, if you came in during that time, exactly when you did, and you can explain that here in a second. But I guess my question for you is kind of going off of what DLo was saying. Do you think COVID, do you think 2020 hurt Hot Toys or helped them more? Because it helped them because, you know, more people came in and started collecting, but it also could have hurt them because of them leaving soon after.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I did, because 21 is when I got in.
Okay.
So I think it's a good thing, I would say, because like you said, it did get a lot of people in. There was a lot of people that just had a lot of time because they couldn't go anywhere. So, you know, it made them, you know, more known in that sense and, you know, get more exposure. But did it hurt them too? I'm not sure, because I think, you know, a lot of people may have left, but I think a lot of, you know, people stuck around too. And there's still more people coming in and maybe have gotten to know who they are and then are finally, you know, jumping into it now. But it definitely is weird for me personally, because it's something that I didn't really even notice until like you brought up this topic. But I just feel like there was kind of like a honeymoon phase, you know what I mean? Like when I first got into it, it was just like so holy crap, like mind blowing. Like they're so good at what they do, you know what I mean? There's so many good figures. But then it's like now, you know, I've been doing it for a while and now I'm seeing, you know, maybe not like misses, but like, you know, we've seen them, you know, take, you know, silent L's, you know, over time. And now I can kind of see what everything is all about, because, you know, as they do great things, you know, there's a lot of things that they're still needing to work on, like I was saying earlier. And I think they are going more mainstream, because it just feels like there's so much versus when I got in. Like when I got in, there was like a lot of stuff that was also sitting in a way too. Like there was a lot of like in stock stuff, but now there's just so many announcements for future. Like, you know what I mean? Like you got to be ready. You got to be ready for all this stuff. Like when I got in, I was behind in a way, because I was buying figures that were in stock. I wasn't even looking at figures that were getting announced or pre-ordered. Like, you know, now it's like, oh, okay, this got announced. I gotta get my order in, because, you know, they're already gonna announce 3 more figures next month.
Yeah,
or like,
that's a good point, Flavio, because like, believe it or not, at the time of when I was getting into the game, like 35 figures a year was like a lot for Hot Toys to make. Yeah. And every year, like that number is like every quarter now they make 35 figures.
Right. Yeah.
And so
you don't even notice it, because you're like you're just so used to it at that point. So like me looking at me now versus then is like, holy crap. I knew that I was going to collect a lot of figures, but I wouldn't have thought that it would have gone this fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the grand scheme of things. And just to think about like how much more we have to go, you know what I mean? It's just, it's a never ending ball game. But, personally, me, I kind of don't want them to go mainstream, because like me as an outsider looking in when I first got into it, that's what gravitated me to it like over, you know, a lot of things, like, you know what I mean? It's stuff that I love and, you know, want to remember, you know, like for movies and things like that. But then at the same time is like, I had no idea about any of this stuff until I stumbled across it. Now it just feels like, you know, Hot Toys is just
The biggest thing ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
I'm
was
not
like an
trying to-
underground kind of thing. Like you needed to be in the know to know about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to say like it's not for everybody, because I think, you know, this is for everybody. Everybody should be able to experience like a figure, you know, of that stature. Maybe if that's what they're into, you know what I mean? It just depends on what your hobbies are. But it was just something about it that it was just like a very, you know, core like fan base.
Because it was collectible, bro.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's the
Yeah.
whole point of the topic. Has it gone mainstream? Because, yeah, I mean, what you're describing is collecting, and collecting at its core, it's not for everybody. In fact, the point why most of us collect is to have something that others, it's hard to find.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
where, you know, that's where, I mean, Lokaloo's in the chat. Shout out to you, Lokaloo, for stopping by. But I mean, he compared it to Hasbro, and I think that's an excellent comparison, because yeah, we've got grown up Hasbro stuff going on right now, because, you know, we're paying north of $300 a figure now on average these days, and it's readily available. There's plenty to go around. And the worst part about it is, like, if you buy it, you may not keep it for long, not because you don't want to keep it, but because you're overwhelmed with so many more figures
Yeah.
Right.
that are being announced and released, and you're flipping your figure. I mean, look, that Deadpool is not even a year old, and it's been
And it's
replaced
up.
by the Battle.
Right.
Think about that for a second. Your figure is less than a year old. I just got mine from Sideshow, the Gold Guns one. I got mine in February. So I had my figure for about a month now. Not even. I can't even say it's been a full month now, but less than 30 days. And there's a replacement. I wouldn't call it superior. I'd say a replacement for the one I just spent almost $400 for,
Yeah.
with shipping and all that stuff. So I mean, when you're fighting something like that, where the company is actively over making figures, and there's only so much of your hard-earned money to go around,
All the different Jokers.
right? So it almost makes it impossible to feel comfortable buying something, because you know your figure might be replaced, or you might have to sell it to get the next figure, and it immediately takes the value of everybody's stuff in the process.
Yep.
It's a domino effect when you go mainstream like that, you know. So I think, I mean, we would all like it to be a little bit more niche, not too niche to where, like, you know, the community is full of just 80 people or something like that,
Right.
but just niche enough to where we can maintain the value of our collections while also using the collection to fund the collection in a way that you don't feel like for every dollar you put in, you lose 50 cents of it.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's where the mainstream part hurts. Listen, I would say, you know, if you're talking about like Marvel Legends, and nothing against Marvel Legends or Black Series or anything like that, but you don't pay the price we pay, you know, for that stuff, right? That's a little
Right.
bit more entry level, you know, for lack of better terms. And you can attain a lot more for $100 for Marvel Legend, as opposed to a hot toy. It wouldn't even get you a hot toy. You couldn't even get you a Hano, right? But I mean, if you look at it like that, then it really speaks to where, like, is it even supposed to be mainstream at this level? Like, that's the question. Should it be mainstream at the price that we pay for this stuff, and what we demand the quality of the stuff to be? Because the price is going up, but the value of the figures are going down. So I think at some point it needs to level itself out to find that perfect balance to where they want to be and where we want to be as collectors.
And that's I kind of feel like that's would be the happy medium. I feel like maybe the old school vibe, but with the amount that we have now. And that would level it out, because that would cause people to go the way that you want to go, and not the way that the wave is going for that month or that week. Like, if you have 35 figures in a month or whatever, like you were saying, for example, but every single one of them held their value, and if you didn't get it on the time that it came out, that's going to cause
I think that's
a give or take.
I think that is the reason why, you know, we do get so many more announcements now, because obviously Hot Toys is making money. because their audience is bigger, right? I think for me, when it starts getting too mainstream is if we ever see these things in like a GameStop or like, you know what I mean, or like a franchise store nationwide.
It's at a Universal Pictures. They have it at Disney right now, dude. They're in stores.
Oh man,
you know what I mean though, like your local GameStop. But
Target
yeah,
exclusive.
I see it at Target where my
midnight release.
Pick up my Oreos.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a problem with that.
Should I get the Oreos or Hot Toy?
That would probably kill my collecting spirit if I saw something like that.
I would literally have to contact every local store manager just to be.
They would have like the wire thing around the box that like destroys the box. You know?
Like, listen, my man, I'm gonna tell you what. Just tell me when to be here and just hold one for me, all right?
Yeah, it's gonna be in that like security plastic container that they can only take off at the register for you. I don't know if I'm ready.
And here's my business card. I'm a local collector.
Jeez. Hot Toys and aisle 6 next to Funkos. I don't think I'm ready for that. I don't think I'm ready for that, man.
Funko on the electronics.
Yeah, man.
Man, Loco Lou, if you're available on the 19th, man, I know we've talked about you coming on the show. If you're available on the 19th, week 3 of next month, let me know. I'll get you on here. But he said did not hurt them at all. It just the fact that numbers of figures in space will be a war of attrition. And the action figure game has changed for years now. Look at the toys for kids versus toys for us. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know if they make toys for kids anymore.
I know.
We buy them.
Yeah. Isn't like 3/4 of toys that are like sold because of adults?
Yeah, that's why the price
crazy. Lego, Hasbro, everything. Everything. Shit, even plushies at some point. So
damn it.
I mean, just saying. All right. Let's go ahead and there is one more figure that I do want to talk about. And that is the Grogu. Let me go ahead and present that. Here we go. So, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, but I know we've had a Grogu, life-size Grogu in the past. And what this one has is obviously the bag. The chin is fixed, right? Because you're not... I remember hearing a lot of like the chins in the past broke. And then there's no line around the ears or something like that, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, DLo, do you have the other one? Or have you had?
I actually went with the Sideshow one.
Oh, okay.
I got the Sideshow one. I like that one there. So I have that at home.
Wow. He is cute, man.
Yeah, he's
oh, man.
This was made for you.
It might be. It might be. I don't know, man. Is this one up for pre-order yet? Do you know?
No.
Nope.
Not yet.
Man, they're giving us all these announcements.
Celebration's right around the corner, brother.
Yeah, that's true. That's
true.
And
I think they're like gearing us up for, the MONDO movie too.
Yeah.
But he's dope,
all I see is my newborn in this.
See, that's how they know.
That's how
they know, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you're gonna buy because Steve, like shout out to Steve, Figures and Fandom over here. He says all the time, like he bought the original 1.0 because he watched the show with his son back then. So that's how they suckered him to get in that one. Now you're gonna get this one, right? Because you got little man, and you're like, oh, you remember when we? There you go, $300 gone on this. On this.
Yeah.
Well, look, let me ask you. I'm gonna play host for like 10 seconds because I want to interview you for a second.
That's fun.
So what are your thoughts on this here? Is this a buy or is this sloppy seconds?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It's like I've done this before.
You know what? I'm going to say, as much as I would want a Grogu, I'm going to say sloppy seconds.
Ooh.
And the reason that is because, well, one, we just have so much stuff coming out at once. I mean, I feel like I'm buying a whole figure every month, and that's with payment plan. You know what I mean? Like how much my payments are equals out to almost one figure every month. And I got to be careful with this Grogu because even though I want it, I do know that there are multiple versions of this Grogu, whether it's the 1.0 or the Sideshow or what have you. And I just feel like when there's multiple versions, the price isn't going to stay up for very long. So yeah, sloppy seconds, I would say. Flavio, are you gonna get this?
I think I am, man. You know, I don't think I can make this one a sloppy seconds just because I wanted.
My gosh, might change my answer.
I wanted.
No one believes you when you said sloppy seconds. I know you did that to be tough. So,
I mean, I wanted
gosh.
I wanted the 1.0. I wanted the sideshow one. Like, I just wanted a life-size Grogu. You know what I mean? And I just never went through with it. But
Dude, you could just hang it on the closet door like this or something.
Yo,
like that.
word.
That's so cool. Just, you don't even need it in a case. Just put it on a nail or something on your wall or oh, it's so cute.
you guys
Wear
are
it,
kind of
like-
like fatigued though from Grogu. I mean, I feel like he's been in our faces for like since you've been in the hobby, right? I mean,
Yeah.
at the same time.
And we've gotten so many like miniature versions of him, like in all these different
Yeah.
like this is one of those things that this should have happened for me like a year ago, and I would have been like, but with Celebration, they're picking like that opportune time, and I just the biggest thing with me with this announcement was you had me RSVP for a Grogu and a hover pram that looks so badass, and you showcased it and everything. And now my head is all messed up because I'm trying to figure out like was this that, or are you gonna wait to release that with the Mando movie and you're gonna give us this? So I think that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna get the hover pram one for the movie, and this one's coming out now, and it's like
Well,
I'm gonna just
the good
pick
thing is
one
this
up
one
for
might
now.
release when the movie comes out. Like it might
No, I
be
think this
released
is
around
gonna-
that time. You
I
think it's
think
gonna
this
be
is
instant?
gonna come out sooner. Yeah.
Okay.
I would assume it should. You know what I mean? Because then, what the movie comes out when, in 26 or 25?
26
So next year,
next year.
this is gonna come out before that movie hits, because they have to announce that hover pram one alongside the movie or after the movie's out for a little bit. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna pick this one up because I need one now. Like, so whenever that case is.
I'm fatigued, but I'm picking this shit up.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that the hover pram one, like, I don't know how it's gonna be, but
It's gonna be battling damage, Grogu.
it just I'm saying
He's
it
gonna
has
have all
to
the
be,
accessories that this
one
one
of
should
his
have came
ear
with.
cut.
yeah. I'm
He's
just
not
saying it has
smiling
to be
anymore,
big
he's
enough
sad.
though. It has to be big enough to be on a stand, right? If it's in a hover pram, is what I'm assuming. So like my mindset is like I have a corner somewhere in the room for the hover pram one.
I don't know.
And
man.
then I
don't think that's
use
coming,
this
bro.
one. I use this one to go shopping, and I wear it.
Oh my god!
wear it for shopping?
Oh,
Took
wear
this to
it.
Target.
Wear
Where
it
are
over.
you shopping at
those-
though? Like you're like the mall? We're going shopping, or we're like going to like
No, like I'm going to buy like bananas.
You want a
and,
Cheesecake Factory
like,
with this
regular
guy?
groceries, like at the
regular
store,
groceries?
like at Walmart, bro. Like, yo, what is that? What are you wearing, bro? Like, I'm just trying to get the white toast right here. Excuse me. Like,
Can I get a
Oh,
Maybe
and then
half
can
pound
he
of
get a
Beer's Head
chocolate
ham,
chip
please?
cookie too?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But nah, like, all jokes aside, like, I think it's cool. I always wanted like a life-size Grogu. I love the updates to it. Like you were saying, no seam lines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to get it, just depending on the price and depending on, we don't know if it's an exclusive or
man.
not.
See, I didn't
What's
look at all
the
these
original?
photos.
that's
What
good,
my
like,
question is.
That's a good question. Hot toys, life size.
And the sideshow one, I think, did better at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
did.
Because,
It did
much
they
better.
fixed certain things that the Hot Toys one didn't.
All right, so let's see. Is this the sideshow one, or is this the? No, the shot was 410.
What?
410.
That was the original.
This
Wow.
one's gonna be 500 and something just because of the bag.
Yeah,
No,
this can,
no.
I
This
hope
would be-
not, because then I'm out on that. I'd
if
rather
this
wait for
if
the
this
pram
is
one.
$500, I'm sloppy seconds. This one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What's
If it's $400, I'll probably get it.
What's funny enough though, like I'm going through the old promo photos, and it looks like they showed the satchel for the original release.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the pram you were talking about too. They show them both. So
Wow.
I'm
Funny
telling you,
enough.
they're gonna just.
So we might not even get this. Oh man.
interesting.
Bull crap.
Interesting. I'm telling you, this is a pass all day long for me. I don't care. I don't care how cute this is.
Oh,
this is
that's Flavio right there.
That's me.
That's
Going
that's
to
you,
Walmart.
bro. Let's see.
Getting your
Using
Star
your-
Wars Oreos.
Yo, word.
Bro, I don't know, man. I feel like if you wear this outside, you got beat up for this, bro.
Yo, word. Like, you're gonna get jumped for this. They're gonna be like, yo, give me the child, cuz.
You,
Like,
no, Flavio, when you go to see this movie in 26,
Don't take it
you
on the
better be
train.
wearing this on your way in. But do not take the train.
no, like, not at all, bro. I mean, it would be cool to have the thought, like, of wearing this out in public, but nah. Being the fact that I know how much this is and what it is, I don't think I would do it.
Yeah. It's great. We do have a question that I do want to answer from Loco Lou here, if he's still here. He says he is free at 9 Eastern time. So it'd be 6 Central is when the show would start. So 7 Eastern, I guess that's your time. But the question to the panel, when is enough for collecting, and when do you say I'm done? It's a good question. That's something I fight with myself every day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll walk past my room like, what the hell am I doing? And then I turn on the light. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing, baby, right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't know what your answers are, but I will try my best to answer
I
this
was gonna
question
say,
because
who
I know
should
everybody
answer
wants
this
to know my
first?
answer. I've been doing it the longest. Why do you do it, DLo? Why do you stick around? It's not what it used to be. Exactly. Collecting 1/6 is like a toxic relationship, right? And I know that sounds bad, but it's not all bad. And that's the point of a toxic relationship. It can be the most amazing time of your life. It could be the worst time of your life, right? Just depending on the situation, depending on where the state of collecting is. But it's one of those things where, like, I think I want to say, at least from my experience, the highs definitely outweigh the lows of collecting, because I just feel like collecting in itself can be so unique into where it's not necessarily even the figures that are like what's the exciting part, the part you're excited about at the moment when you're feeling it. It can be something cheesy, man. It can, just meeting guys like Brick and Flavio, guys who weren't here when I was here, but now they're here now, and we vibe and we get along great, and we can just chat it up and stuff like that. Or there can be a sad day when there's a 2.0 of your grill, and you just hate everything because that happened. And I don't care what anybody says, when it hits you, you don't like it. You're not happy for the community. That's bullshit. That's coping. But yeah, man, it's highs and lows, man. I mean, because I think at the end of the day, the lows come from the fact that we want everything and we can't get everything. The highs come from when you get the right figure that just makes you feel great about collecting, pop culture, community, all that stuff. That's when it hits, man. It's just like, man, there's nothing like it. This is why we do what we do. But is it ever enough? I don't know. Because I mean, listen, I came into this here and I had a game plan. I knew a couple people who dabble in hot toys, and I said to myself, when I was coming in, I want 6 figures. It was the Justice League. I was going to get those. It was going to be a man cave. It was going to be a football, New York Giants, New York Yankees, man cave. Like, I had a red couch. Like, that's how serious I was. I had a red couch behind me right where everything is right now. And it was a rug. I mean, hold on.
Oh, he's got it.
I still got some stuff in here from the original. Like, I got, so I got my stuff here. So, like,
Russell Wilson, baby.
Right. But listen, when you get your first hot toy in hand, it's just like, if you like it, you're not gonna just like it, you love it. Like,
word.
It's not like, oh wow, this is kind of neat. You don't have that reaction. You're like, holy shit, I'm holding a little human being in my hand right now.
Yeah.
It's and then you dabble, you go into other stuff, like, you know what, let me get an Iron Man. And like, and I say to everybody, like, you don't know what innovation is like until you open up an Iron Man. And that is sick as shit. But yeah, man. But then, there's things where, like, fuck, my rooted hair is falling out of my figure, right? Or, fucking, oh man, they made a 2.0 of this shit. I just bought it for like double retail. Just
yesterday,
right? Some wacky
literally
shit like that
happened.
there, man. But I mean, as much as we bitch and complain, as much as I will admit I bitch and complain sometimes too, I don't know if I can ever say genuinely enough is ever enough. I just feel like there's this, if you're living life, how can collecting ever really end? If you really think about it, because this is all culture related, you know, it's all culture related. Like if there's something else that catches your attention, let's say the new Deadpool movie was a big one for you this past year, man, you got something exciting to collect. No Way Home, man, nostalgia, fandom for Spider-Man over the course of the last 20 years. You got the whole crew together. You had an amazing team up. That was never supposed to, I want to collect that. So I think as long as pop culture lives on, which it always will, I just don't think that anybody's ever going to truly say they're done.
Well, and then you have those when they come back with, you know, Aliens and Predator, and you have these old IPs that, you know, who knows, maybe one day they'll bring Rocky back. So it just brings you back even more. Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. But yeah, we got a couple more questions before we end the show. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Local for that one. M is saying mono or DTOF. I would have to say monos. I like my DTOFs a lot. The monos are just easier to kind of move around, and you know, if you want to make one shelf higher so that the Venom can fit in there, or that Lego set that I have there in the middle, they're just easier to move around. You can dim the lights up and down, and I feel like there's just more space overall, and I'm not really afraid to put as much stuff on the top of it. But yeah, I would choose the mono, but I do like the DTOF, how you can kind of, there's no blind spots on the corners, so that's nice. I think I like them both. What about you guys? You got to choose.
I don't have either, so I mean I can't really truly speak to that, but I like the way that the monos look compared to the DTOFs, but
sure,
that's just the only thing that I could say.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm probably going to say mono as well too. I don't have monos, but I've seen them in person, and I had DTOFs. I like the whole part of anything being modular. It speaks to me in this hobby over, because nothing ever stays the same. Your vision never stays the same, and it's nice to have the freedom to adjust it to whatever your collection is going to be at that time. Like look at Bricks, for example, over here. He's got that massive brand new Venom over there. He's got a quarter scale Spider-Man. He's got a Bugle Lego set in the center over there. Like that's hard to do in a DTOF. It can, don't get me wrong, it can be done, but this was built to be able to adjust to your collecting. So I'm always a fan of something I can change if I change my mind.
Yep. And then when you install the lights in your DTOFs, it's hard to move those shelves up and down because those lights are in there.
That's
and
true too.
Like the loop lights and all that. But yeah, I mean, they're both great. One more question we have from Lou Sasso. I hope I'm saying that last name right. What's an IP that you fell out of love with in your collecting journey? Flavio, let's start with you.
That's a good question, and it's a hot take and a contradicting answer here that I'm gonna give you. Good question. But it's the honest truth, and I feel like I need to hear myself say it out loud because Star Wars, man.
Oh wow! Like, I did not expect that.
That's just a fact. Like it's the IP that I want to have the most because it's so classy and timeless to me, and it's so iconic. And you know, I love the movies, I love all the characters, but the reason that I feel like I'm falling out is because it's just so much, dude. Like I want so much more from the other stuff. Like I'm falling in love more with DC the most out of everything, which is crazy. And it's
is it crazy?
No, it's not, because like, okay, Spider-Man, you know, he's my dude, he's my favorite. Like Marvel's not been doing so hot. Like they're gonna trend up here in a little bit. But like DC, like Batman, again, like how we were saying, no powers, like he's just so fire. DC has so many good like low-key figures that I'm looking at now that I really want to get over like other stuff. But, you know, all three IPs, I love them, you know. But Star Wars is just so high influx. There's so many characters, so many things announcing. It's like dang, like give me time to look at other stuff that I want to collect,
Sure.
even though I still want to get all this Star Wars stuff. So for me, that would be my genuine answer, even though it's probably a hot
Well,
take.
thank you for your honesty. Appreciate that. Shocking. DLo,
Yeah.
what about you, man?
Me, kind of a cop out, but it's whatever everybody else is collecting.
Okay.
I do not like
feel
to
that.
collect what's hot. I don't like to collect what's hot. I think for me, it's about collecting. I don't want to follow the crowd. If everybody's excited about Marvel, I'm collecting more. I'm collecting Star Wars. I'm collecting DC. If Star Wars is popular, I'm going back to Marvel, going back to DC. So like for me, it's just like I'm always going against the trend. That is what quite honestly is what gets me excited, because when I came in, Marvel was king. You know, I mean, MCU could do no wrong. It was just hit after hit after hit. So naturally, everybody in the community, they were really, really high on Marvel. So that's when I got into DC. My first figure was a Batman. My first ever Marvel figure was Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. That was my first one there, right? And it was fun for a little bit, and then after a while, I was just like, you know what? I want to get my hands on Star Wars. And then my first Star Wars figures was actually 4. I got a big fat commission check, and I said, you know what? Let's just fuck shit up. And I went on the website, and dude, I picked up, no lie, and everybody's gonna look at me today like this is crazy, but no lie, I picked up Obi-Wan Deluxe from Episode 3, Count Dooku, Yoda, DX-17 Maul, and wait for this, boom, bada boom, Dark Side Anakin.
Ooh.
One cart at the same time.
Yeah, it was
One
only
cart
up from there.
But you know what though? What's crazy about that? At the time, while I was focusing on Star Wars, making that big life-changing order, because they legit changed my collection for sure. But like, you know what I did? I got like 15% off, no tax back then, free shipping.
Wow.
That's how far back that goes, because they used to not charge tax
Whoa,
for that too.
Dang.
that's
Yeah.
insane,
So
bro.
I put up a, you know,
And now tax is going up.
yeah, we got tariffs and all the crazy. But back then though, that was a lot to put in. But when I got that, I was hooked, and I sold everything Marvel. I had a 0 left of Marvel. I got out completely.
That's scary.
But what's crazy though is everybody came back to Star Wars like when Mando came out. When Mando came out,
Okay, I see that.
Star Wars got hot, right? But at that point, I was good. I got all the grails that everybody wanted before people picked up that Star Wars was back. So all the OT, I had it all. Everything that's a grail today, or used to be a grail to most people, I had it at retail, below retail.
Dang.
Then I didn't feel like I wanted to collect it as much anymore, because now everybody's doing what I'm doing. So I'm like, okay, I'm watching the trends. I'm seeing Marvel. Damn, this Infinity War, this Endgame stuff, this is going for like below retail. Well, then I came in and I swooped that up. DC was always going to be bought, because I'm DC ride or die forever. But that's the thing. I like to buck the trends. I like to go and get on things when things are not as popular, because I feel like for me, that is like my own slice of collecting. That is my private area where like you got to be cool to collect this side, right? That's the way I kind of justify to myself, because while you guys are all following the trends, I'm being this trailblazer over here collecting stuff that people ain't even looking at. So I like that. I like that kind of vibe of where it's just
I like that answer.
It's me in the hobby, not me and everybody else in the hobby, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does 100%. I kind of just, I don't think I've really fallen out of anything yet. I don't think I've I don't want to say I haven't been in long enough for me to fall out of anything. I don't want to say that, but I don't know. I kind of just, I keep what I have. I get into something a little bit more, but it doesn't mean I've fallen out of anything. You know what I mean? Like, I need to get more into DC. I'm really looking forward to doing that with like James Gunn stuff and some of these 2.0s that are coming out. So I'm looking forward to that. But I don't think I've fallen out of anything. I need to get more Star Wars figures. There's a few figures I want. I want Han Solo. I want a Chewie. You know, I need some figures from Star Wars, but I haven't really fallen out of anything yet. Guys, issue 31, Bugle 6 was a success. I've had about 20 people in the chat, around 20. the whole show. I appreciate you guys. A new time and day for the Bugle 6. So we're getting back to the point where we were on Mondays, and I appreciate you guys for being here and sticking around, watching the show, giving us the questions, giving us all the feedback, answering top or bottom, all that good stuff. And thank you very much. Thank you to the Brickyard members. Thank you to DLo coming on the show, making the show a blast tonight. Love streaming with you. What's going on over in your neck of the woods there, DLo?
Oh man, so much. So first of all, I should say thank you, Brick, for allowing me to come on your show.
Of course.
Like I said, I just want to hang out with my boy. He's got a new kid. He don't hang out no more. He's not in the chats like he used to be. So I got to hit him up like, what are you doing? I'll do what you're doing right now, just so we can hang out.
Yep.
But as far as my what's going on my channel, actually, real quick, I had a milestone. I don't know if I hit it or not. I was looking at it right before the show, and I was at 2,999 subscribers. Let me see.
Ooh, guys.
I still am. You guys don't.
If you guys are not subscribed to DLo the Collector, make sure type in DLo the Collector.
I just need one
on YouTube. Go to subscribe to him, and if he gets to 3,000 subs tonight before the show ends, I will do a giveaway next episode. Let's do it.
All right, low key, he was going to do it regardless, but I appreciate the plug in right there. No, so on my channel right now, I have the Batman Armory up on my channel right now, and I actually started working on my boy John Wick.
Ooh,
working on my boy over here.
Look at that.
Working on him right now. So that one is dope. Oh, you want to show me? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I want
to do this.
I want to show John there. Look at that, Mr. Wick.
You working today, John? Yeah, this guy right here. So working on this. This is awesome. I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan, so it's going to be a dope review once I get that one wrapped up. But I got that. I've got I got a haul video coming up as well too. So I like to do other things here. My boys are the YouTube streamers of the world. I just join in to say hi to everybody, but I like to be I'm the artiste of the group over here. So if I wind up getting that Anakin, I will show you fools how to fix your hair if you really, really want me to do that there. But yeah, you can find me at DLo the Collector on IG, Facebook, and on YouTube, of course. And yeah, I think I should have another video out for you probably this upcoming Wednesday. All
right. Good to hear. You got content coming out. Love watching your stuff too, man, because you do it differently. You know, you put your own spin on stuff, and explain the good and the not so good sometimes, but you perfect these figures with your customizations that you show also on your videos. So really appreciate your content.
Appreciate the love, bro.
Of course. House of Collectibles, Flavio. What's up, man? So what's going on over at your channel? I know you got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, man. So first off, I just want to say, it was a blast to chill with you guys. As always, thanks to DLo being here as well. It's always fun. I dropped his channel there in the chat too, so you guys can check that out and sub. But yeah, thanks for being here with us, broski, because it's always fun, being able to talk with you and chat about what's going on. But
you're my homies. I gotta show up every once in a while.
Right.
But yeah, man, I've been pretty busy trying to get back to the swing of things. Me and Brick, I talked to you and what I want to do with the channel, and trying to get back on the train of getting more videos out. So I've been working on that.
Yep.
My latest one was the Jack Sparrow. So that one's doing pretty good. I'm working on my next video too, is this guy. I got Thrawn in, so I'm excited to check him out.
Man.
But yeah, I'm trying to, work on having my, displaying my collection on how I want to do it. So I just been in this weird phase of moving. All right, now change. Okay. I'm tweaking right now while also dealing with getting stuff in and trying to review it as I go. So I am finally catching up. I'm literally catching up to where I need to be at. So I'm happy about that. Other than that, I don't really got much going on besides, being on Bugle 6 with you on
yes,
Saturdays.
Sir.
So yeah, guys, check me out on the House of Collectibles, or Flavio's House of Collectibles, sorry, on YouTube and Instagram as well. But yeah, it's always a pleasure to be here and, you know, talk about the stuff that we love. So thanks for having me, and it was dope, you know, being.
No, absolutely, man. Love streaming with you. Love doing Bugle 6. It's a lot of fun. You know, I feel like it's a good little weekend getaway. You know, if you got nothing else to do on the weekend, you got Saturday night, hang out with the boys, good stuff. Over on my channel, I just put out a video today on 5 Mondo lines that I really want to see Mondo do. I'm kind of getting into the Mondo stuff. I'm really kind of disappointed in a figure that they showed that I was really excited for. Hopefully they do some updates on that. I'm not going to bring up that figure's name, but I will get him because that's just me. But I also have I got Spider-Punk coming. I will probably have that review, probably get here around Tuesday. I'll have that review out probably by Wednesday. And of course, Wolfpack Wednesdays. You catch us over at Jedi Knights Watch channel there. And man, that's about it. That's about it. So getting into the groove of things. We'll be live again on Bugle 6 next week, Saturday at 6 p.m. Bugle 6 at 6 Central Time. And we'll be back the first and third week of the month. So, guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And make sure to always choose to collect. And, of course, what DLo would say, keep bricking.
Keep on bricking, motherfuckers. Come on. You got to say the whole thing. Sam L, that bitch.
Keep on bricking, motherfuckers.
Got to put a little southern into that, too. You know?
Oh, yeah.